Remember that lady that we did some jobs for? She said Gorgesus?
Yeah, Gorgesus, right. Yep.
What a precious old lady.
It's like Godzilla of the religious world?
No, it's like how rappers say gorgeous. It's how Jay-Z and Yeezy...
Old
Are
white...
you serious?
Like Gojira and then Gojirus. It's like a supersized Asian Jesus.
That's so... Wow. Wow.
And you said I was being racist earlier.
Oh, welcome.
Gorgeous.
Welcome, everyone. Kevin, welcome. Welcome to you, Kevin.
Matt, welcome to me as well.
Welcome. Oliver, I just want you to know you're in a safe place. I want you to know you just feel welcome here. Whatever you want to just share, if you want to share anything,
okay, so
feel free,
I
alright?
was webcamming my crotch earlier.
Uh-huh. Oh, tell us, do you want to share about that? Do you want to tell us about
Should I just show you?
The web...
Should I just show you?
I could probably just show you.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
I'm going to call this bluff, and if I see penis, I guess I see penis. Like, whatever. Wouldn't be the first time.
Based on some sort of list for the rest of his life, where he's required to tell his neighbors who he is.
Yeah, I don't want to be on that list anymore.
Eric Peterson, welcome.
Hello.
Also. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Viewers, listeners, welcome. Welcome.
Do you guys, speaking of safe place, Matt, do you guys in Canada up there have at certain gas stations or certain stores signs that say this is a safe place and has like a picture of a child walking into a house or something like that? Have you guys ever heard of that?
We have
what is
block
that?
parents. No, we have like block parents is the same.
I think we used to have block parents. I haven't seen a block parent sign in like so long.
I
Yeah,
think
'cause I
Bryce's
could imagine-
parents still have a block parent sign up in there.
I could imagine block parents as an easy way for
Yeah,
not safe place for kids.
It was like that old Helping Hands sign or something like that, where you could just put a piece of paper in your window that said, "We're a Helping Hands location," and kids could go and have daycare. And it just
What if we turn it? Okay, let's get some kids who want to make some money. Let's send them into these people's houses and just rob them blind. Let's just steal all their stuff.
No, I was actually going to ask, because down here at some of our gas stations we have a sign that says this is a safe place or something like that. And the way I understand it, it's essentially, if you don't want your child, you dump them at the gas station.
What?
No.
That's
It's
not-
if the child gets lost or something,
Yeah.
they can go there and be able to contact their parents.
It's a rape-free zone. A child can go into it feeling confident that there will be minimal amounts of rape inside.
I don't think that's right.
No, it's true. They come in with like detectors and they check to make sure they check the air. Nope,
I'm
no
gonna
rape
read
in
about
here.
it.
All right. It's got to be
It's
under
a-
certain parts per million. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, welcome to the ManaTank Podcast, February the 17th, 2014. My name's Matt Eads, joined by the whole crew. And Oliver,
Mention the sponsor.
let's just say, okay, well, I am a man that loves a cool treat on a cold day, a warm day, any kind of day. If only we had something available and delicious.
Matt, let me tell you about delicious. Are we even allowed to do this? Like,
No, let's stop right now. Let's stop this before Wendy's sues us.
They're not going to sue us for free advertising. Like, I mean, we're not saying bad things about
Frosties
them.
are great.
We're saying we
But
like
do you
their
think-
products.
Do you think Wendy's really wants to have their creamy dairy treat tied to a show like this?
Yeah, we literally just talked about testing the air for rape molecules.
All right, maybe you're right.
Like
Yeah.
4 or 5 seconds into the show, in fact. Frosties are great. I love a good Frosty. Did you guys know there's no milk in Frosties? There's no dairy in Frosties.
What is it then?
I've
I
heard
do.
that Frosties is very, very gross when you
Yeah.
come down to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't.
Is it just
Like
like
lard.
Is it like the unsolidified hot dog paste that hasn't been put into an intestinal sheath yet?
Yeah, basically, it's like fat, basically. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, mayonnaise.
that's what I
It's like
heard.
frozen mayonnaise.
Shit.
It's kind of
They're good,
gross,
though.
but I mean, like,
It's
man, that chocolatey flavor.
Yeah, I like the floats. You ever get a float at Wendy's? You little root beer, little frosty. Oh.
What? No. Why wouldn't you just go to A&W if you're getting a float?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you want, if an A&W is in range, in reach, then yeah, go to A&W. But you know, if I'm just gonna walk to a Wendy's, like, you get what you can get. All right.
So what do you think about the rape molecules in the air of an A&W?
I think it's
Lower than a Wendy's.
Lower than a Wendy's, really?
I don't think Dave Thomas Dave Thomas is Wendy's.
Yeah.
Maybe lower than a Wendy's, because I don't think Dave Thomas stood for any of that shit.
Daughter Thomas, the big fat one.
Yeah, Fat Wendy.
Big fat Wendy.
How do you test the air for rape molecules? Like, what kind of contraption?
The rapometer. It also tests for rap. It's a 2-in-1.
It's got a little dial on it.
Ticks, yeah, parts per million. He mentioned this.
Yeah, come on, guys.
So, is there a correlation? Like, the lower the rape molecules, the higher the rap molecules?
They often go hand in hand. Like, I'm not really, I can't make a statement officially, but I mean, from what I've noticed, as rap goes up, it kind of, everything bad also goes, violence.
Especially during a R. Kelly song, that's for sure.
Yeah, don't you? Oh, that's
What
some
episode
nasty
is
shit.
he on for that In the Closet show? Video?
What?
What show are you?
He's doing like a live, like, not like a live show, but a mini web series about In the Closet, and it's this super duper long song that's in different episodes where
That was years ago.
Yeah, but he's still going on with that. You know what I'm talking about,
Is he
right?
really? Yeah, he's done this song, which is kind of like a weird spoken, not really spoken word. It's like, it's a song about him being caught in the closet.
It's called Trapped in the Closet.
Trapped in the closet, yeah. And it's not, it doesn't have anything to do with being gay. Sort of does, actually. But,
apparently it's 22 parts right now, and each part is considered a full song, like 3 to 4 minutes, and it's
his masterpiece, man. It's his Ninth Symphony.
It's terrible.
It's
really
awesome.
No, it's not.
Yes,
you
it
need
is.
to watch it. R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet, Chapter 1.
I haven't watched it, but I have, like, the tracks on my,
You need to watch it, because the music video is hilarious.
I should check that out. That sounds like something.
I think there'd be a lot of rape molecules in that.
Sometimes I feel like I'm... Never mind. Let's talk about some video games, y'all. Let's start with Oliver, because I know Eric and I got a bunch to say.
We do.
So let's get the people who don't ever play games out of the way first.
What did I play?
I'm going to throw that down. What do you...
You make it seem like you and I do nothing but sit at our computer in our underpants and play games.
Well, I can't speak for you, but...
I didn't. Yeah, you know what? You pegged me right there. I didn't really play much this week at all.
Did you play more Outlast?
No.
Oh.
What about Left Behind?
I don't know what that is.
The downloadable content to the popular 2013 blockbuster PlayStation 3 game, The Last of Us. Did you play it?
Did you?
Yeah, I played Left Behind. Did anybody else play Left Behind?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Really?
I can't quite bring myself to pay the $15 for the DLC.
My reasoning was this is Titanfall beta week, so any time I have should probably go into Titanfall.
Yeah.
That DLC is always going to be there. I can grab it. I can grab it once that beta goes down.
I don't know. It's without spoiling anything or whatever, ruining it for anybody. It's okay. So like, it's good. It's really good, and like it definitely falls in line with the whole theme of The Last of Us, and it definitely follows the tone of it. It's just, I don't know what it was, but it didn't.
Not enough Joel.
It might, maybe.
Not nearly. Is Joel in that at all?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my beard.
So Oliver,
Yeah.
I was actually just at my mom's house the other night as she was finishing up playing The Last of Us. She just, I came over and she was just getting to the part where she's going in and rescuing Ellie from the doctors, and we're watching through the final sequence, and at the very end she was talking about her friend Riley, how they were both bitten, and they're like, well, we're just going to wait for each other to go mad and we'll die together, but she obviously didn't die. Does this cover that story that she talks about briefly at the end?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Can you actually go over that conversation?
So at the end of the game,
roleplay it, I mean?
What?
Nothing. Just fucking tell me about that conversation.
It's the pretty much the very last conversation that Joel and Ellie have before Ellie says, "Swear to me that everything you said about the Fireflies is true," and Joel says yes, and then it cuts to the credits. But she was talking about how before she met Joel, she had a friend, or when she got bitten, she had a friend named Riley, and they both got bitten at the same time. And
is Riley a dog?
No, it's a girl. I don't know if she's ugly or not, but
she's a little girl, Eric. That's not what I'm thinking of, all right? Riley is the dog from Call of Duty, I think. It's Riley, right?
Riley,
anybody?
Yeah. The dog
COD Ghost, yeah.
So there's a certain age when people can be classified as ugly?
When you're 12, you got a lot of growing up to do. Like, you can 180 that shit.
I guess.
All right?
So basically, she said she's talking about how they got bit, and then they just decided to do this this poetic thing together, where they just lay and lose their minds. And anyway, Riley ended up losing her mind and didn't really explain what happened. And Ellie basically says, "I didn't turn, and when is it going to be my turn?" And
yeah, that's exactly it. Because I remember there was that conversation in the game. I just don't remember how it went.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. It was a very, very short one or two sentences, and I thought it was kind of cool that they picked that to make the DLC out of, instead of just adding something completely new.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't like Riley myself. But
she had it coming.
No.
She get bit at the end. And you're like, yeah, that's what you get.
And the story of those two, Riley and Ellie, was actually super endearing and really good and really well acted. I just don't know. Like, how old is Ellie?
14, 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I want to say she is
younger.
exactly 13.
I want to say she's exactly 14. I think they said it at the beginning. Somehow.
Yeah, I remember them saying it, but I just can't.
They were in the going towards Joel's
14,
thing, and she's like, I'm 14, not that it matters, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
She was an orphan raised in a boarding school. Run by something. Yeah, like, boarding.
Oh, I thought you said aborting. Like, what the fuck kind of school is that?
and a boarding school. Yeah. It's where they teach you how to aboard, It's
well, you got to learn somewhere.
Before you become a sailor, you got to go there, and they teach you fingers like fishhooks.
Oh wow, I read aborting.
That's what I read too.
What do you? Boarding school. You guys have never heard of boarding school before?
Yes, but I heard the way that
are you saying abortion school? Is that?
That's what I thought you were saying.
You guys are ridiculous.
Abortion. Yeah, I'm with Eads on this one. You guys are fucking retarded.
Anyways, it's worth playing just to see, and it's really cool and really well done.
Without spoiling much of it, from what I was reading, there's the pacing in The Last of Us was really good as it was, just in terms of story development. Then there's the sneaking portions, and then there's just the flat-out you have to fight portions. But with Left Behind, does it still kind of follow that same pace, or is it more just plot?
I know what you're talking about with pacing in that game. It's still present in this, but not as good.
Is there any combat?
Yeah, there's actually plenty of combat. A lot more than I wanted, but and it's about the same thing. Okay. And I only played it on normal, so a lot of the resources were still like plenty available, so it wasn't hard or anything.
Is there any new items, new enemies, anything?
No. Just new areas. Still
really? No new combinations? Nothing?
No.
Weird.
Why would there be? It actually, okay.
I don't know. I don't
know if this is spoilerish or anything, but it's kind of frame narrative where this happens in the game at the same time that Joel gets hurt. So actually, it's kind of in that interim part where she's looking for supplies and stuff.
So hold on. Does it actually make that story part make fucking sense now?
Well, that's what I wanted to mention, you Kevin. Sort of. I don't know.
She goes to ambulance school.
Yeah, she goes to
leaves her in a boarding school and then goes over to the ambulance school.
So it picks up right at that point. She's off looking for supplies to help Joel, but it'll flash back to her memories of hanging out with Riley.
Because Riley bit it before the first game even started.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And actually,
sounds interesting.
Remember, she shows you the bite on her hand, and that's what she refers to.
It's probably a dog.
In the game, and yeah, it's kind of expounds on that a lot more.
Cool.
It's good. It's really good. I wanted to like it a lot more than I did.
$15? Is it? You think it's worth price of admission? That's kind of steep. $15 is kind of steep.
Well,
like $9.99 I could get, but 15?
We were having that conversation though about you can't correlate length with cost. And the whole Ground Zeroes debate with that only being 2 hours at most, but this I feel, especially since it's being billed as DLC, that's a pretty steep price tag for what a lot of people are saying is 2 or fewer hours.
I think it is too. It's short. I played it in two sessions. And
any of those would have worked.
2 play periods.
I could have easily finished it in one. It's just when it came out was Valentine's Day, so I had to put the controller down. But
What'd you guys do for Valentine's Day?
We just went to one of our favorite restaurants and had supper.
Make reservations? Whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Was it like an actual sit-down, you get a waiter type restaurant?
Yes.
No, Burger King.
Hey, Christy and I...
Actually.
Did you know White Castles? Apparently some of them offer tableside service, candle lighting, and like flowers on Valentine's Day.
White Castle, really?
White Castle, yeah.
Never been to White Castle.
We don't really have them here, but...
No.
You're not missing much.
No, yeah, we got dressed up. Had supper at a Thai restaurant. And then just went over for a couple of drinks after. Yeah. And then I went on to do my webcam show.
Yeah, that's how it goes once you're engaged. It gets, once you're married, I mean, why even go out?
Yeah, when you can stay in webcam.
Exactly.
Yep. And then I played... It was okay. Like I said, I wish I liked it a lot more, and I was trying to explain this to some other people. Like, I don't know what it was. I feel it was me. I feel like it was something in me just didn't really like it for whatever reason.
I'm sure some of us. I'll probably play it this next week here, and then I'll let you know if the game's no good or if you're just a horrible person. I can let you know one way or the other.
Well, I could see why you don't feel that way, because Ellie is a great character, but I don't know if she's a great main character, and she's presumably the main character of the DLC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of it for me. Like, I can relate to Joel, because, I mean, he's a big dude, you know, he's an adult man, and I am also an adult man. I haven't been a 14-year-old girl for almost 9 years now, almost, in May. So, I mean, it's hard to relate sometimes. Any other games?
That's about it.
Wow, quick
That
week
was
for
really
you.
about it.
What about, you got up to anything else this long weekend? Nothing?
No, I just came back from... we've been doing some like renovations and repairs to my parents' townhome, their rental property, because they want to get rid of it. So I just came back from that and still haven't even washed my hands.
Doing electrical? Oh, painting.
Yeah.
From the webcam
And
show.
that sucks.
Yeah, painting does suck. Painting super sucks.
Yeah.
Painting's fun. You just get drunk and paint.
Good painting. Painting well sucks.
Yeah.
If you want to paint a house like Kevin's place, I mean...
There's actually some technique to it, which I don't know about, and so it's super difficult for me.
Well, you take the paint and you put it on the roller, and then you put the roller on the wall.
Well, is it roller? Is it brush? Are you just like throwing the bucket on the wall and then kind of hand smearing it out? Like what's the technique here?
Hendrix, like that one rock and roll painter guy.
Yeah, like that speed painter who was at the Christmas party that one year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The BioWare Christmas party.
Was he there?
Yeah, he painted Shepard and we were just talking about him. Hawk.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they both, like, I think he put the faces of Ray and Greg on them, which was super weird.
No, that you were talking about is this.
Okay.
The coasters that were actually at the Christmas party.
Those are awful.
I forgot about those. That
Yeah.
one's a pretty good Photoshop. The Greg is a pretty good shop there.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, something happened to that one.
Other than that, yeah, pretty uneventful. My life.
Yeah. Hey, preach.
I'm trying to get into this Titanfall beta.
Yeah, it's easy. Everybody can now.
Not for
Wow.
PC. It's not open yet.
Not for PC.
Do you want
Isn't
me
it?
to send? Do you want me to send you a link on how to get in, Oliver?
I'm pretty sure it is open on PC.
It's not.
Oliver, will
Okay.
your PC even come close to running that game?
Probably not, but
It might be okay.
I'd
Mine
like to
runs
see
it
So the
if I
way-
can.
I scammed my way in to the PC one. So did
Because
Eric.
I sent Matt, and Matt, hold on. I'm
Actually,
trying to-
that's not true. That's not because you got an email, right? I didn't get
No,
an email.
no.
I didn't scam my way in. When I got in was when they opened it to everybody that signed up.
Did you?
You scammed your way in.
So I got an email from one of our listeners, Cody. He basically said, "Here, if you want to get into the Titanfall beta early, follow this." And it was a thread on Reddit that basically said, "Here's how to get into the Titanfall beta." Apparently, Vince Zampella put out a couple tweets with a bunch of beta codes for Xbox One and PC. And if you go to
Well, stop, because there's an underlying cause to this. They sent out a bunch of codes that didn't work,
Yeah.
first of all. That's the whole reason this even is a thing.
So if you take one of those codes, and apparently this has been taken down because I'm trying to go to it now, but if you take one of these codes and you email EA and say my code does not work, they will just automatically reply to you and say this account has been flagged for access to the Titanfall beta, and it just shows up in your Origin account.
Apparently, you don't even need a code. If you just email them and you're like, hey, you guys sent me a code, but it didn't work, what the hell? They'll just be like, okay, here you go, and let you in. When I got in, they opened it up to everybody who had signed up previously.
See, and I
On
didn't
PC.
get that email.
I didn't get an email for it. I just got access. And then I was
okay.
reading online. They said, yeah, it's open now. I did get emailed for the Xbox. I got 2 Xbox One codes for some reason to the same email address. So,
Wow.
but that's open for everybody now, too. So, I mean, if you have an Xbox One or a PC, go play some Titanfall.
Are you opening Origin on your computer there, Oliver, to check in there?
Yeah, that's I was just thumbing through that and I can't find anything.
Mine was just under. It just showed up in my games. So if it's going to be there, it'll be there for you. Kev, what about you? You got any My Games?
I got a game that you and I have been playing a little bit today. I don't know if you were playing it beforehand.
I have played it before in my time. Yeah.
Yeah, little prison architect style.
Yeah,
game.
I've designed a prison once or twice.
Yeah,
Don't
I
they
started
have,
playing.
5 or 6 iterations of this? Oh, I'm thinking Prison Tycoon, sorry.
What's Prison Tycoon? Probably the same thing.
It's a really really shitty tycoon
Yeah.
like management
'Cause,
style.
So
Prison
like
Architect is like a top-down view, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Prison Architect is like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with inmates.
Prison
Nothing
Architect.
like Coaster Tycoon, because Roller Coaster Tycoon sucks.
You shut your mouth.
Prison Architect is more like.
Sim City, where your city is a prison.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's an agent-based sim, not like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where it's basically Roller Coaster Tycoon just gives you numbers. It's like you're making this much money, but you're spending this much money, but there's no actual little agents doing anything other than there are like they show the people going to rides, but that's just for looks. Whereas
Well, there's people who
Prison
cut the
Tycoon.
grass and clean up garbage.
yeah, but it's just for look. This is an agent-based sim.
Yeah, there's a lot more of those little guys running around in this game.
Yeah, and they determine what the outcome of the game is, not just... It's hard to describe. It's not just systems that are counting numbers. It's not something like Anno or... I'm trying to think of games that you guys would have played. Any of the Tycoon games, in fact.
Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Even Roller Coaster Tycoon, yeah.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Or what's that other one? Theme Hospital you tried to have me play?
Theme
Theme Hospital is great. Theme Hospital is an agent-based sim.
No, Theme Hospital, real bad.
No way.
It's a product of its time.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, this game doesn't look good either, right? It's just
it's got an art style to it.
Shit.
So take me through Prison Architect.
Well, I'm currently in the process of getting all of my necessary buildings up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to. You need to have a holding cell for.
That's where people go when they first show up. Yeah.
Then you got to move them to the cell block. Then
that's where the cells are, right? And
have your guards beat the shit out of them because they looked at them wrong. My guards all have batons with like spikes in them, so that they're a little bit more dangerous.
Well, it's because you only have to tell them once, right? If you take the spikes out, I mean, then you're beating the crap out of these guys.
Who are just like, you hit them in the face, and then they look up at you and then insult your mother, and then you gotta hit them in the face again. It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to prison, but it's pretty much exactly what it's like.
Yeah, put the spike in, just cut all that out.
Yeah, it's no more bullshit. So yeah, then you gotta build a kitchen and a canteen and a shower and death row so you can kill them all when they piss you off.
So you're architecting a prison.
Essentially, yes.
Okay. I don't really know what more to say about that game. That covers basically all of it. It's on Steam. It's in early access. The 17th iteration of the alpha.
Wow.
So yeah, it's still probably super broken. I haven't seen anything that... Well, I have seen some things that have broken, because if you try to like make walls and then put a foundation under the walls, it like breaks shit and fucks up your game.
Yeah, it's not really broken. There just isn't... Like, most of the features... Well, some of the features aren't in yet. Most of them are in, I think, but...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like random events that happen, like riots and
yeah, your prisoners get pissed.
Probably.
They'll fight. They'll fight guys. You gotta search their cells sometimes. Put them in solitary. The thing I don't like about Prison Architect is that there's none of the content is gated, so you have access to absolutely everything off the start, pretty much. So it throws so much at you, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do, really?
The first time I did it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm building a prison, so obviously I'm going to want a wall. So the first thing I do is encase my entire area in this giant wall. And
I don't know if you've ever seen a prison, Eric, but that's how they are in real life.
I like Kev's logic. Like, well, I need
walls all the way around.
Yeah,
4 walls and a roof. Prison.
Well,
done.
If you were told to make a prison, what would you start with? The kitchen? Come on. You start with walls.
Put that soap on a rope.
But yeah, so I started with the walls, and then I ended up spending way too much money, and now with restarting and starting my prison over again, I'm actually segregating it. So I like my administration buildings and my power generation and my kitchen are all outside of the prison.
It's not what I thought you meant. So I got this new segregated prison. Cell block A, cell block B. No, sir, you have to go. I know cell block B is dirtier and doesn't have running water, but you just have to go there. I'm sorry. It's segregated.
So yeah, so I have like all these checkpoints going in between the main outer prison wall and then where the guys actually have to be. So it's like, it's more streamlined.
You know what's shitty about that is that only your guards can... So I haven't figured out a way to keep a guard where you want them. Like, say I want a guard by this door, because only guards can open certain doors. So I want a guard here to just let people in and out. Mm-hmm. I haven't figured out a way to do that. So the more checkpoints you have and the more doors they have to go through, my guys were getting hung up, and like you'd have to wait a couple minutes for a guard to come racing all the way across the prison, let them in, and...
Well, I would think that like if I have a yard, I would need like a guard for the yard, and then a guard for the cell block, and then a guard for the holding area.
I haven't... They just randomly seem to roam around. Like, I haven't figured out any good way to...
Oh, to, like, lock them to a specific space.
Yeah, or to, like, put down a patrol path for them or something.
Have you investigated the, like, guards section of the...
Not in quite a few alphas.
No?
No, maybe that's in there now, but definitely not out of the gate. Like, there's almost a tech tree that you have to research stuff.
Oh, so maybe having intelligent guards is something that you need your warden to research, because your warden does all your research, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the first prerequisite to start opening up that tech tree.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so far I'm having fun. I mean, I'm sure I'll get 4 hours in and then be like, all right, well, I've had enough of this game.
It's kind of how I made it. I sort of had my fill today.
Yeah.
I've been jonesing so hard for a good like management sim like that, and there's like a few of them in open beta or in early access. But fuck early access, all right? I don't truck with that shit. We need some of these games to come out.
I know there's one out there. You should get it. I don't know what it's called, but it's like you play as like the president or prime minister of like a country, and like you have to run an entire country.
Tropico.
Yeah.
That's totally not it.
No.
No.
I'm
sure that's like it, but that's not.
Tropico is one that just gives you numbers. I don't like that. I don't like building a banana plantation and then it's like, you have 4 bananas incoming. You know, this will cost you 2 bananas. I would rather see my dudes go and pick bananas and bring the bananas back to my storeroom and store them in my storeroom. That kind of, like, Dungeon Keeper style. That's what I'm looking for.
So you want to see it happen, you just don't want to know that it happens.
Exactly. I want to have to, like, if I don't have enough workers, they can't gather bananas. You know, I am physically seeing everything that happens. I like being able to see all the parts of it. I don't like them, you know, they're like, oh, we simplified it. Now you don't have gatherers. We just count the number of resources based on where the building is put. Like, no, fuck that. I want to see my guys go out and get the shit and bring it back. That's what I want. And there's Space-Based DF9 is one that Eric and I looked at a little bit this weekend. That's in early access. Maya is in early access. That one looks like Dungeon Keeper in space, which looks amazing. There's a Dungeon Keeper remake called War for the Overworld in early access. There's tons of them.
So have you been signing up for these, or are you just kind of meh?
No, fuck that. Because you pay to get in early access. You pay to play the broken-ass build. No thanks. Let's wait for them to come out. It looks like Maya's almost done. And Maya looks like the best one, so pretty excited. You guys want to know about Maya?
Tell me about Maya and why I should play that instead of Space-Based, because I'm pretty hooked on Space-Based.
So Maya takes place on a planet. Space-Based takes place in space. Maya is like fully 3D rendered. Maya is basically Dungeon Keeper, like the style. That style of the map is like when you're excavating stuff, it's in blocks. You are tunneling underground sometimes, and you're basically trying to make a colony on this planet that you're just trying to make a colony that can survive. So you need, you know, you're like gathering power, you need something to get potable water, you need atmosphere generators, and then things will happen, you know, meteor strikes. There's one weird event where, like, the AI in your base becomes sentient and starts killing people by locking them in rooms and then venting the air, and, like, it's cool stuff like that.
So is it you arrive at a planet that is completely inhospitable and you need to terraform it, or...
It's not totally, not really, like you're, the atmosphere, there is atmosphere, but it's not great for people, so like, you, the way that I've always seen it played is people build these caves, and then they seal off the entrance to the cave so that no atmosphere can escape, and they basically make this underground base. So like, in this mountain, I have my base where there is atmosphere, but if my dudes have to go outside, they gotta put their suits on, and go, you know, outside because they got to fix something or whatever. It looks interesting. It looks cool. It has like ecosystems. Something it's all procedurally generated, so different alien creatures will be in different numbers, kind of depending on the way that your ecosystem was generated. You might have like lots of water or no water. There's solar flares, which will fry your shit. It looks cool. Looks good. Looks really good, I would say.
Like fun. Is that going to be... You said that's on Steam Early Access right now?
Yeah. I was looking... It looks like it's almost done. They're looking like they're about 8-9 weeks out from having the build finished, and then they're working on designing a campaign for it.
So I'm looking at it right now, and it's $25. Do you think this is going to be one of those games that once it goes full release, it's going to jump up in price?
On the web, I think it'll be 32, 34 or something like that when it's full release. But it might go on sale between then and now. Who knows? Like Space-Based DF9 was like 75% off during some sale.
Because I'm thinking of like Kerbal Space Program, where when it first came out, granted there was hardly anything to it, but it was $7, and now it's $24.
I bet the price will go up a little bit. I would imagine.
Space Base is $20 right now.
Yeah, I've seen it on sale for 75% off, which makes me not want to buy it. Space Base is okay. It's similar style. You're building a base in space. Go figure.
I like it. Like what Kev was saying before, they just kind of throw everything at you all at once. She's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. No,
the problem with Space Base is that they throw everything at you, but as soon as you get a handle on that everything, there is nothing going on in that game. There's like 7 or 8 room types. You build one type of each room, and then you just sit there.
There's a couple... Yeah, occasionally a derelict space station will show up, or like some killbots will come into your base, but all you do is you hit your roster and you just switch everyone to security, and you have no issues. Or you can just seal off the doors and vent them out.
See, the problem I had was I had a base, and then these robots showed up, and then they were just way stronger than my dudes, so they just killed everyone in my base, which isn't fun. And to be honest, Space Base DF9 isn't really fun either, because you're not... There's like no complexity. There's no challenge to the management aspect of it. You build a life support room. You put, oxygen generators in. Then you build a place for them to sleep. Then you build a place for them to eat. Then you build a place for them to work out. And then you're done. Then that is it.
I have a couple qualms with it, and I understand this just comes along with simulation-style games, is that you cannot give any sort of meaningful direction to anybody in that game. So you have technicians, and all of your shit breaks down real quick. Your life support systems, I think 4 or 5 of mine right now are hovering right around 0. And I've got 6 technicians, and they just sit around and talk to each other, and then they'll go sleep for 10 minutes, and then they'll go to the bar. It's like, dude, the fucking life support system is about to fail here, and you're all going to die, and you're over here eating a slice of pizza.
Well, that sounds like a problem with your management.
No, you can't click on them and say, go do this.
That's fine. That's good. That's the kind of sim game I want. You give your people the tools, and you need to give them the right stuff to do what they need. You know how you get around that? You have like 5 technicians. If you see stuff is breaking down, you just make more people be technicians. Like Space Base, I understand it's an alpha and it's still a really early version. Mm-hmm. But it seems like that game is going to be boring. It's super boring.
It was something that I was playing last night at probably 10 or 11. You just put a nice pair of headphones on. It's a peaceful game to play. It's kind of neat. But yeah, you're right. Once you kind of max out your base, and I think after 3 or 4 bases, I finally figured it out before. And it's like, okay, I got an airlock, and I just started attaching shit sequentially, and pretty soon my mine refinery was completely on the other side. So they have to come in, go through the airlock, take off their suit, walk through the bar, walk through the hydroponics, walk through the life support, and then they'd get to the mine, and then they would drop everything off and then have to walk back. So I think
pro tip here, pro Space Base DF9 tip. You can put a mining platform out in space with no walls and no atmosphere, and they'll just go in their suits. So you put it right beside what you want them to mine, and they just go to it. I don't like Space Base DF9.
The issue that I have with the mining stuff is that your resources expire, and then they don't ever create anything new. Like, I've mined all of the rock around my area, and then that's it. And the only thing you can hope for is a derelict station to show up and you just go and destroy it.
Yeah, that's something that they'll address as the game is finished. It's like they're saying 20% done right now.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, but even, like, they have the core systems in. You can kind of go in and just set up a little colony and watch it tick away. Mm-hmm. It's not real engaging.
If what you're saying is true and they are only 20% done, I'm kind of sold on the concept, because all they're going to do is add more stuff. And I feel
but I don't like the core simulation aspect of it. I don't like that you can just build a room and go, you are now air support, plop, 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 plop. Like, you need zero forethought in your base. You need zero planning. It takes all the fun stuff I like about simulation games like that and just throws it out the window.
It's the Snuggies of simulation games.
Sure, that's a good... There's a reason I don't own a Snuggie, and there's a reason I will never... Well, I guess we already have Space Base, but that game sucks. No, that game doesn't suck. That game doesn't suck, but...
it's not a hardcore sim game.
It's an iPad game, is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I would describe it. Like, it doesn't have a lot of features. It doesn't have a lot of complexity. It is very much feels designed to be played on a big touchscreen.
I think it'd be great on a touchscreen.
I bet it would too, but I want more complexity. I want some in-depth shit in my sim games.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for SimCity to get that offline mode so people can start modding it.
Speaking of SimCity, there's an Origin coupon right now for 50% off any game, and I'm super tempted to get SimCity for $20.
As a man who has almost 100 hours into SimCity, I'd say that is well worth your time.
Yeah.
But I like SimCity. I really like SimCity.
I love SimCity. So would it be worth it to get the deluxe edition?
No.
No? Why?
No, that
What's
DLC
different
is
than
total bullshit.
Oh, just the DLC?
Yeah.
Apparently you get 3 European city packs.
No, the DLC is total bullshit. Like 100% bullshit. Even the Cities of Tomorrow thing, I guess, is sort of worth it. That's the only the expansion, as they're calling it, is worth it. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you really like SimCity like I do, but like paying money for skins basically. So like, oh, now instead of a city hall, I have the British Parliament building is like super stupid. Super stupid.
It looks like they've got a lot of like amusement park set, airship set, and
yeah,
American Red Cross disaster set.
You gotta buy all that shit.
So Cities of Tomorrow just turns your shit into like futuristic stuff.
It adds well, Cities of Tomorrow adds a new resource. It actually adds a lot of stuff. Cities of Tomorrow, I would say, if you like SimCity, is worth it because it does add some pretty neat stuff.
I could get SimCity Plus Edition, which is basic and Cities of Tomorrow for $30.
That seems that's probably worth it. I'd say yeah, sure. I think once the modders get a hold of that and the offline mode is up and they can take the city boundaries off and all that jazz, that game's going to be really good. Really good.
You think you'll drop another 200 hours into it?
Well, I only have 100 in now, so
yeah, so.
Maybe I don't know. Can't comment.
There's a possibility.
More updates on that story as it develops.
Matt, you want to talk about Titanfall? Let's do Titanfall. Actually, I want you to vent a little bit about your Xbox One purchase because you were...
It's fine. No, it's totally... I'm stupid and the Xbox is fine. Maybe.
I don't know about that. You were
It's hard to say.
Pretty upset.
I still do. Ask Kevin. I was playing Titanfall just before we started this show, and it disconnected me from the server, and I just swore a bunch of swears in a row. Expletives. No meaning.
Yeah, I think that did happen.
I said, like, this is fucking bullshit. Oh, it gets me so angry. Like, it just sets me off. It's the kind of angry where no one else, like, just don't even talk to me. Just shh. Nobody ever asks me what's wrong when my connection's lagging, because I will stab you in your face.
Yeah, I know, you rage quit on me last night.
I know, I was telling Kev about that too. Because it was getting choppy, man. My connection is bullshit. It's fine for maybe 10 minutes at a time, and then for 2 or 3 minutes, it's just unplayably shit. And I get so mad. So mad. It's horseshit.
That's just your personal connection.
I die because those people aren't better than me. I die because it's lagging. Oh. Titanfall's pretty good.
I'm sold on it. I'm probably going to buy it.
So let me try and sum Titanfall up in as few words as possible. Okay. Call of Duty meets Mirror's Edge meets
and Mech Warrior.
Mech Warrior, yeah.
And it's great. It is a lot of fun.
Do any of those words mean anything to you, Oliver?
Is that valid to compare to Call of Duty?
Yes, absolutely. It is a very arcadey, Twitch-based.
There's a caveat to that, though. I don't want to say it's comparable to every aspect of Call of Duty. It's more comparable to when you're playing through the single player and you get to these large, flowing, explosive set pieces. It's like that.
Okay, let's play a game, Oliver. You name something in Call of Duty, and I will tell you if there's a Titanfall equivalent.
The dog Riley.
Yes.
There's no dogs.
But there are AI characters that are running around. There's no kill streaks. Kill streaks are out. Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
They're completely out.
Yeah, instead of Call of Duty would be like, you get 6 kills, you can call in a Predator missile. This, as you're getting kills, it's taking time off the amount of time until you can call in your Titan, which is your big robot. So the better you do, the more big robots you call down. And they fall. They're Titans, and they fall from space. That's why the game's called Titanfall.
So how long does it take?
You start the match, and it takes 4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah. 4 minutes.
Every player kill you get knocks a minute off.
That's not true.
No?
Every damage you do to a player, or an NPC, or an enemy Titan takes time off. Yes. Okay. Anytime you do anything beneficial to your team, there's one mode where you are capturing points, like Call of Duty style, Battlefield style. Anytime you capture a point, that'll take time off. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
And it is very Call of Duty. Like, despite what Eric says, when you play it, it's that same gameplay loop of, lives are usually 20 to 30 seconds on average, unless you're really going on a big heater. It's, a Twitch-based shooter. You are sprinting around until you see somebody, and then you are pulling your gun up, and then you are shooting them. Very similar to Call of Duty.
So, it's not that it's a Call of Duty style shooter, it's just that it's like every other shooter we have nowadays.
It is an arcade style shooter, but it is very reminiscent of Call of Duty. As you're killing guys, you're earning experience. You are unlocking guns. You are unlocking perks. You can equip perks to your...
Let's get to the real point here, though. It's like all the other shooters, and the fact that there have been so many is that the formula works. For what it is,
it's not like all the other shit. It's not like Battlefield. Battlefield is very, very different. Playing those games, Battlefield is not an arcade shooter.
No.
This is an arcade shooter, and until now, because Call of Duty has just dominated that market so heavily. I mean, to compare it to anything, you could say that it's like Counter-Strike, I guess. You could say that it's like it's Blacklight Retribution, if you want, but to compare it to anything other than Call of Duty is just...
Yeah, it's your basic first-person shooter, but I don't want to say new elements, because this isn't the first shooter game to actually incorporate any sort of vertical movement. Stuff like that's been going all the way back to Quake, and...
Yeah, this really... Like so that's another game that I would throw into that mix if I was picking, this is a mix of these games, it feels very Quake 3, very Unreal Tournament style, because you have a ton of verticality, whereas Call of Duty, you're basically kind of just on the ground. You can run up to the second level in a building or something, but you're kind of on the ground. And that's sort of the way that everybody plays Titanfall when they first start, is they just stick to the ground, and the people who are on the rooftops and the people who are running on the walls are the guys that are just crushing matches.
It's a hard mindset to break, because how many hundreds of hours have we put into Call of Duty style games where you're relegated to the ground, and to suddenly think, okay, I can jump up on that wall and then jump across to that wall and then up onto the roof and be on top of the roof in 3 shakes of a lamb's tail.
It's 2 winks of a coal miner's eye.
Yeah, it's a hard mindset to shake, but once you actually get into that mindset, I think it's phenomenal. The gameplay on this is fantastic. It's a ton of fun. So yes, it does take elements from older games, but I think it executes them much better.
Sorry, go ahead, Oliver.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
I can barely hang during a Call of Duty game where guys are running just back and forth, and I'm trying to shoot them, and my aiming sucks because I suck.
Mm-hmm.
But when these guys are jumping around and wall running and jumping from building to building, is it?
That's where it gets interesting.
Can you hit these guys?
Yes.
It's tough. It is tough, but it's a feat. Like, somebody launches out of a Titan. There's a thing where as your Titan gets low enough health, it'll be in a doom state, and you can eject yourself. There's like a big ejection seat that shoots you out the top. And you can shoot guys when they're doing that, but it's like a feat. It's something that's uncommon, and when you do it, you go, "Oh, can you believe I fucking shot that guy while he was ejecting?" Yeah. So it's like that style of thing. When I play, I shoot dudes who are standing still, because those guys are dumb as shit.
The other part of that, though, too, is the grunts, and every team just has kind of those minions that they're basically there to feed the people who are still kind of learning the game. And
That's not really true. That's not why they're there. You can't just make bullshit generalized statements about this, all right, Eric? This is arguably the biggest release of this year.
Okay, then I won't make bullshit I won't make generalizations.
Thank you.
They're there for a lot of reasons, one of which can be to help people who are still learning the game. How's that?
I've heard that they act as creeps, right? Like in a MOBA.
Kind of.
Yeah, sort of.
They do
But the
serve a
main
purpose.
reason
They're there. They can do damage, but they're just sort of there to kind of like.
you got to be
Matt
bad
said.
to die to one. You got to be really bad. But like they're there to kind of give you something to do because it's only 6-on-6, and the maps are, I would say, a lot bigger than Call of Duty because you are so mobile. So imagine a big Call of Duty map with only 12 players. Like there's going to be just times where you can't find anybody, times where you're like, I can't fucking kill anyone because I can't find them. So these AI players serve the purpose of giving you something to do, basically, while you're running around. And so it's not traditional deathmatch style, it's attrition, which is you earn attrition points. So killing a player is worth 4 attrition points, killing a Titan is worth 5, killing an NPC is worth 1. So even as you're killing these NPCs, you're still helping the team, but,
contributing as much as you can be.
Exactly, yeah. They're interesting.
A lot of people are complaining that it's too hard to differentiate between the grunts and the actual pilots, and I think that's bullshit. If you can't tell the difference, because the grunts are going to be the people that are just standing still. They're the ones that are going to like walk around a corner and post up and kneel down and shoot down an alleyway. Like clearly that's a grunt. The pilots are going to be the ones that are sprinting around, jetpacking. You don't see the grunts jetpack around or wall run.
The only way you kill them to get points, but I mean the only real use I've found for them is that if you're playing a mode where you know that someone is going to say be coming through this door that you're in front of and you have a grunt in there with you, I will hang back, let that dude come in, shoot the grunt, because then I get the drop on this guy instead of me running out and then it's whoever can get their gun up first and shoot the other guy. You can sort of use them as decoys. They'll shoot rockets at Titans. They'll do some pretty good damage to Titans if you're kind of just being real careless. So
It's fun to walk in on them fighting each other, too.
Yeah, they'll do weird stuff, like get into these like wrestling matches, almost. And they'll talk shit to your opponents, which is fun.
I actually walked into a room where one grunt was killed and the other grunt put down his gun and like started dragging the other one out the door and around the corner.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, they'll just do stuff. They'll sit in chairs. There's like just random debris around the map that doesn't really do anything for the player, but they'll use that stuff. They'll type on computers.
This is an online multiplayer game, pretty much, right?
100%. 100%.
Is there any way? Because I've heard that there's a way that you can just sort of single player this.
No.
There is a campaign.
Yeah. How does that work?
There is a story. Nobody knows.
Oh, right, because, that's just...
There is a story, but even all that stuff is all still 100% multiplayer. Every time you're playing this game will be 6-on-6 with real other people.
I'm pretty
How
interested
does the
in playing
6-on-6 work? Is it fun 6-on-6, or does it feel like there's not enough people?
It's fun. Like those AI dudes fill out the map enough that you are constantly, sprinting, shooting guys, jumping around. You're always doing something. There is no downtime.
And I think the other aspect of it too is the inclusion of the Titans. If you had, say, even 12-on-12, there would be way too many Titans because that timing difference between how often you're going to get your Titans, I don't think I've ever really seen more than 4, maybe 5 Titans on a map at a time.
Yeah, we had 5 today, and we blew up the dropship.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like game over when your team gets Titans? Or is it pretty easy to kind of combat them?
So I find the most effective way to kill a Titan is actually not as another Titan, but as a dude just running around. Because you have a rocket launcher that, every class, it's a Call of Duty loadout style, but you always have a primary weapon, a sidearm, and a anti-Titan weapon. The rocket launcher just does work, man. It's like 3 rockets, and that thing takes a Titan down. And also, as a dude, you can jump on these Titans. You can jump on the back of them, and you'll like pull a piece of the paneling off, and you just start shooting into the guts of the Titan. And it does a lot of damage.
I feel like that's not going to work very often because people are starting to get smart to the fact that, okay, as soon as it tells me somebody's rodeoing me, every time in the past 5-6 matches I played, when I've done that, the Titan instantly shuts down, the person gets out, shoots me, gets back in.
So jump off.
So,
like, what? As soon as you see the Titan, because it's a very obvious, like, it gets down on one knee and puts a fist down because the dude's getting out. You just jump off and shoot him in the face and then proceed to fuck up his Titan.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's not a guaranteed you're going to kill this Titan.
It's true. It's not. But Titans they are more durable than being a dude.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to lose them if you're careless. Really, really easy.
My favorite part of rodeoing, or when someone's rodeoing me, is sitting down and ejecting, and then you go sailing up, and they go sailing up with you, and you turn around and shoot them. There's just so many fun things that you can do in this.
Does your Titan respawn? Like, can you get a new Titan?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's 4 minutes from the start of a match. Every time I am killing a dude or doing something good, that timer ticks down. After that first one, I think it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And same thing, as you're doing work, it's ticking down. You can also leave them in like AI mode.
Yeah.
So I can call my Titan down, put him in AI mode, and say like either hang out here and guard this point or follow me, and then I'll go running across the rooftops to kill some dudes. And that's kind of how I've mostly been doing it. Actually, I'm not very good in the Titan, so I don't really like to use them. You kind of have
on the executions. That's why I like being in the Titan.
Yeah, there's a good... so when your Titan takes enough damage, it'll go into this doomed state, which is basically this... your health bar will start ticking down until you die, but you do still have 30 seconds or whatever it is. But as you're taking damage, it's going down faster, so you kind of make the judgment call of like, okay, I'm not taking a ton of damage, I can probably stay in here for 10 more seconds and, shoot out more rockets and shit. But when you're in that doomed state, if another Titan... they have a melee attack. If they come up and melee you, you'll like punch in, grab the pilot out of the Titan, and crush him in your fist. And then the Titan blows up, and it's really satisfying.
That's cool.
It's a good game. It's a great game. I still think that it is not the game changer that everyone is making it out to be. This is not something that is revolutionizing the industry like everybody seems to think it will.
It's fresh enough to give that impression, though, and to kind of like sate people's desire for something new.
It's basically like a new Call of Duty. It's like they took Call of Duty and made it in the future.
My fear is that this game's going to do well, and rightfully it should. But I'm afraid that suddenly everybody's going to say, oh, great, people want Space Marines and mechs and jetpacks, and suddenly we're going to see tons of spin-offs of this, and the next Call of Duty is going to be set in the future, and you're going to have jetpacks and this wall-running ability, and suddenly this is just going to usher in a whole new era of cookie-cutter first-person shooters.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
EA is already saying that this is going to become their next Call of Duty, and this may or may not become a yearly franchise starting as soon as next year, which is fucking crazy. Absolutely insane to make that announcement.
I wouldn't mind it, to be honest.
Especially so soon after it came out, like, come on.
Well, they've already said Titanfall 2 won't be a Microsoft exclusive.
That was my next question. Are they going to make it to PlayStation?
Not Titanfall 1.
Yeah, Titanfall 1 seems like it's locked up as far as exclusivity goes. But they have confirmed the next one. The only thing, like... I remember playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare for the first time and being way more kind of blown away because it was way more revolutionary than it is now, and still getting burned out on that Call of Duty. Like, I'm not that blown away with Titanfall. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it's a great game.
Less cynical back then, too.
Yeah, it's true. But, I mean... a year from now, when Titanfall 2 comes out, and I'm just staring at my copy of Titanfall going, well, I guess I either buy into this series right now or say fuck it on the whole thing. Like, that doesn't... don't put us in that position again, alright?
But I think for people who kind of like are in my position where I said goodbye to Call of Duty after the original Black Ops. Like, I'm burned
so did
out.
I.
But I played through the campaign on Modern Warfare 3. I haven't touched Black Ops 2, which was a year ago already. So I'm about 2.5, 3 years out of the first-person shooter franchise. So I'm ready for something. So for people who are in that position, I'd say Titanfall is a good choice.
I think too many people have played too much Call of Duty that...
well, maybe we'll steer clear of the dude bro culture in this game then.
Like, I'm sure Titanfall is going to do really, really well. How can it not? It has millions of dollars in marketing behind it, but Titanfall 2, I don't know. It seems like They're going to try and pull that wool over people's eyes again and be like, oh, look, we added a new mech, and now the dudes can backflip also off walls. There's Titanfall 2. Like, will people be as eager to eat it up as they were to eat up those Call of Duties, or will they go, oh, see, this happened with Call of Duty?
I think they'll do what they can to take Call of Duty shine away because of that inherent relationship they have with, like, the history of Respawn and Call of Duty.
Yeah, plus Call of Duty is now on a 3-year development cycle, so...
Are they introducing a third studio like they originally planned?
Yeah.
So that
for Call of Duty?
Yeah. I heard that.
Now it's Sledgehammer and
Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
Activision. Oh yeah, Treyarch.
Was it Sledgehammer? I forget.
Sledgehammer.
I was reading that story earlier, but
Shit.
yeah, I don't. I want Titanfall. I do not. It's a weird thing to say, having not played the full game. I don't think I want a Titanfall 2. I don't know, especially if it's coming out a year from release.
Here's a suggestion. Get Titanfall 1, enjoy the shit out of it, and just say goodbye to the series after that.
Yeah.
Enjoy this for what it is.
I was just listening to our show last week, and this is the exact same conversation that you guys were having about The Last of Us 2. You guys are already writing it off. Already!
I don't like sequels. I do not like sequels. I hate them.
Kevin was the one saying that you guys are being assholes about it, and you guys, this is like a douchebag move that you guys are just writing this off just because.
I'm not writing off Titanfall 2.
Well, the reason that I have kind of almost had my fill of Titanfall just playing the beta.
No way.
Like, yeah, okay, I've run around, I shot some dudes, I get it. That's a really short gameplay loop. I've played Call of Duty, I know how it's going to go. What, am I going to prestige 10 times? No thanks, I never do that in games, that's not me. Like, I sort of... Call of Duty has jaded me so much that I am going to buy it on the 11th when it comes out, but before I do, I'm going to go, okay, here we go again.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's the cynicism and it's the jadedness of it. Like, are you...
Yes, I am. Therefore, I think.
But I mean, like, what if you genuinely decide, like, shit, sorry.
Yeah, Snake is telling you,
like this game.
Don't pursue this line of questioning.
And what if you're like, man, I am gonna join this Titanfall world-class tournament.
Then I'll be way in.
Because I'm that good.
Then I'll buy Titanfall 2, and I'll buy Titan Modern Fall 1, and then I'll buy the spin-offs that it generates when they bring in other studios to make other ones, because they want to keep a yearly development cycle. But I mean, how can you make a game every year? So it makes sense to have two different franchises that both share the name Titanfall, and I'll probably be way in it until we get to game 3 or 4, and I'll go, you see, I kind of thought this would happen. Well, you know, good thing I spent $980 on Titanfall in the last 3 years, because 26 games have come out.
I think you're the outlier in the marketing, the marketing target audience. They spend so much money on marketing to get people hyped about this, and then you are the exact opposite of who they're targeting, and you get burnt out by it. You're like, fuck this, I'm over it.
I do. I really do get burnt out. I sort of wish that I wouldn't have even touched the beta. Like, I did for the show, but it's the same thing with early access. Like, I don't really like early access anymore. I don't really like betas anymore. Because that's just the thing. I get burned out before the game comes out, and then it comes out and you're like, well, I sort of got what I wanted from the beta. You know, I called in a mech, I pulled the dude out, I crushed him, I shot some guys, I ran on walls.
I could see that. I mean, yeah, I'm of that mindset right now where there's a lot of stuff coming out that same week. And right around that same time.
Dark Souls 2 comes out that same day.
And my kid comes out the next day.
Well, whatever. We're talking about important shit here, alright? Video games, not kids.
Okay, Elder Scrolls Online is like 3 weeks afterward. And I'm still on the fence about if I want to subscribe to an MMO.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's similar enough to Call of Duty that's where that burnout is coming from.
Yeah, but I feel like for me, it could kind of pull me out of that burnout. Like, I like shooters. I like what this game is bringing to the table.
I don't know.
I
like Battlefield now. I've gotten so deep into Battlefield that now like arcade shooters, I'm like, this is total bullshit. This is fucking arcade respawning instantly, running on walls, fuck this game. I like lying in a building, you know, setting up a good position, getting some good cover, flying a helicopter around. I've never been in I've never been in a battle, but I imagine it would be a little more like Battlefield than it would be like Titanfall.
Do you have a jetpack?
Not that I can tell you about. Not that legally I can't confirm nor deny my giant mech backpack. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a cynical asshole. Titanfall's really good. I bet you'll love it. Unless if you're still playing Call of Duty right now, and you're kind of going, I'm sort of getting tired of Call of Duty. Maybe Titanfall won't be for you, but otherwise, I bet everyone's going to go nuts for it. They're doing some weird server architecture. The whole thing is in the cloud. Ask me anything about the cloud.
Do you guys think that this will take some of the Call of Duty luster?
Absolutely. It's on a 3-year. It's on a 3-year development cycle already. I mean, a year from now, Call of Duty is going to be nothing, forgotten, until a year later we get a trailer for the new Call of Duty, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, Call of Duty still exists." Which maybe is what that series needs, because I don't see how it can stand in the face of Titanfall.
It needs to die.
It needs to go back to World War II, is what it needs. World War II, invasion of Normandy.
We need a Call of Duty World War I or Call of Duty Civil War. Fucking 3-minute reload times.
That'd be boring as shit, yeah.
Cannons, like marching up in lines.
Reload. You got to do this motion in the Kinect. Makes you do this. So I bought an Xbox One this week. I got one.
It came in the mail?
Yeah. Yeah, Sweet. It came in the mail. The Xbox One, compared to the PS4, is a gimmicky, giant, can't stand on its side, expensive as shit.
Do you have your PlayStation on its side?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I had to make room for the giant Xbox that can't stand on its side.
Can we try to turn your Xbox on over your speakers?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try it here. I don't know how to turn you guys on my speakers now. Oh wait, yes I do. You gotta say Xbox on. Okay, you should be coming out of my speakers now.
Xbox on.
Okay, hang on. Let me bring you over. Okay, try it.
Xbox on.
No, try again.
Xbox on.
Yeah, no, you did get it. You did get it the first time. Yeah, it's on now. I couldn't see the light, so I didn't know if it was on. But yeah, it turns on. Turns my TV on.
It's kind of cool.
Says hello, Matt. Welcome.
Thanks for spending so much money.
I say thank you, Xbox. The way that it signs you in with the Kinect, that it looks at you and signs you in. But because I sit in that big brown chair behind me, it never finds me. So I have it set to sign in. It looks at the chair, owns the account. I don't own the account. I just play on it. The chair owns the account. I'm gonna turn. Do you guys wanna see me turn it off with my voice? Oh wait, I gotta. Hang on.
Don't point it at your crotch.
It just thinks you're a big brown man, hey?
Yeah, I'm not on the right channel, so I gotta... Where's the TV? There's the TV. Where's the Xbox?
Well, that's my TV.
Oh, you know what? It's not plugged in. That's why. I unplugged the HDMI cable. I can do it with my voice, I bet. See, if it turns the TV off...
You can plug your TV in with your voice?
Yeah.
That's
Xbox, turn
TV.
off. Yes. Did it work? Oh yeah, it totally did.
Can you talk to it normally, or does it have to be like weird and kind of like
stoic?
Yeah,
no, you can. You have to say Xbox when you want it to listen to you. Well, you're not on my speakers anymore, but
would it respond to that? Xbox.
Yeah, it does. It does. Sometimes
Xbox.
it's a little.
Xbone.
No, not Xbone. So the thing I've had is that I can't. I have to say the full names of games, which I don't like. I can't be like Xbox, go to Rise. I have to be like Xbox, go to Rise, Son of Rome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Xbox, go to Titanfall Beta.
Xbox, Injustice, Gods Among Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so I mean,
sucks.
Xbox, go to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Was there a? Oh no, there was no no subtitle on that one. But it's weird. It's gimmicky, and it's kind of shitty. There's no fucking games. Like,
so next month.
I don't know.
Here's a question for you, like a legitimate. I'm not trying to start a console war or anything like that.
Yeah.
But clearly, you have both consoles, and games are going to be coming out for both. When it comes down to that decision of which console to purchase a multi-platform game for, what are you going to go with?
PlayStation 4, because currently it runs everything at a higher resolution and a higher frame rate.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. So I don't even really know. Like, that was the thing. Getting this and then playing Titanfall and not just having the Titanfall stardust in my eyes and being like, oh, Titanfall's the greatest thing ever. Games are over, you guys. Titanfall's out. Like, now I just spent $500 on this fucking thing that can't really do anything. Like, it.
Do you have it hooked up through your cable box and like control your TV?
Yeah,
and
but
shit?
because I'm in Canada, I can't. There's no like channel guide in there, so I say Xbox watch TV and it turns the TV on, and then I use my remote control. So why even?
How about the hand stuff? Have you done all the hand like?
Because I'm a chair, it doesn't like my hands.
Yeah, chairs don't have hands.
Yeah, chairs don't have hands. I've done it a little bit, but the thing I don't like is that if you see my hand on the video, to press a button, you have to do... So, like, you put your hand up, it'll detect it. To press a button, you have to go in until it detects that you're pressing forward, and then you have to pull back. And you have to do it quick, because you push in slow, because you're watching it, so the natural response is to pull back slow, and then it does nothing. So you gotta put your hand forward slowly, and then snap it back.
I feel like it would be the opposite.
Pain.
Like, it should be punch it and pull it back.
Yeah, it should be... And, like, you can't just swipe. You can't just... I want to do this. I want Minority Report. Like, I can just... Yeah. Next page, next page, next page. You have to put your hand up. You have to put it forward so it detects it. You have to grab the page and wait for it to detect that you're grabbing, and then you have to move your fist across and then let go.
That sort of sucks.
Yeah, it's not... The motion control is dumb. The voice control is okay.
So it didn't really make any improvements over the original Kinect. Like any true...
I haven't used the original Kinect, so
it was pretty bad.
I really don't know. Like, the voice stuff works fine. The voice stuff, usually, I can just be like, yeah, Xbox on, go to Rise. It'll go on to Rise. But, I mean, it's set up in such a way that I could grab my controller, press the Xbox button to turn it on. I just turned my Xbox on, and and then go to Rise and just do it in one button press. Like, it's cool, but it is not convenient.
They made it seem a lot smoother when they were marketing it. Like you were just saying, like you can just say Xbox go to Rise or Xbox do it, and it doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's ugh.
Have you tried the like screen type thing? When we're watching a movie.
Yeah, that only works with certain games. That only works with snappable games. The only snappable game on the Xbox One right now is Lego Marvel.
That game is awesome, though.
Yeah, nothing against Lego Marvel. I don't own it, and no, thank you. So the way you would
that feature in. Ugh.
Well, you can snap the TV to the side of any game, but it shows up as like a little tiny box up in the corner, and then if you full screen it, then you just open the TV app, and at that point, why snap, right? The way you want it is like, okay, I'm waiting to find a match or something, or I'm downloading this patch or whatever. I want a big TV screen and a tiny little game screen so I can see what's going on. No, that's not how it works.
Huh.
Yeah, it's disappointing and stupid. And speaking of disappointing, let me tell you about Rise. It's spelled with a Y because the people at Crytek are fucking assholes.
Rise.
The beginning of that game says achieved with CryEngine. Achieved with CryEngine. That is the douchiest fucking engine intro swap. I don't know. Rise looks great. The thing I will say for Titanfall and Rise, the two games I've played on the Xbox, they both run at a solid 60. I think my camera just died. They both run at a solid 60 frames per second, which is fantastic. And boy, does Titanfall look sharp at that 60.
Yeah?
Yeah, real sharp. I don't know what happened to the camera, so I'm just going to leave it and hopefully it fixes itself.
It's running. I still see you.
Oh, weird. It showed me as a picture to me. Yeah, they run it a real nice 60 frames per second. Titanfall didn't make. They were promising 1080p, didn't make it up there. It's 792p. It's a little above 720 because they wanted to lock that 60 in, which I get. Good for them. Because honestly, unless you're a weirdo like me, you're not going to notice the difference between 720 and 1080. And but the frame rate you will notice an awful lot. So good that they locked that in there. But the fact that the Xbox has no games that run at 1080p yet is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know if Forza does or not. I don't think it does, though.
What are some of the big must-have Xbox One games coming out after Titanfall?
Halo, if you're still into that, which I am.
But is that even slated to be this year?
Yeah, they're saying 2014.
Wow.
Other than that, like, there's...
I couldn't tell you any Xbox game.
No real exclusives. I don't know. I'm sure there is something I'm missing. Let me see a list of them here.
How come you got Rise and not Dead Rising?
Because I do not like Dead Rising. I do not like the whole the real time, the weird So in Dead Rising, as you're playing the game, it gives you a certain amount of days, and whatever you're doing, everything is always ticking down. So you'll get a mission, and it's ticking down because time is ticking down, and eventually, that person's gonna get killed by zombies or whatever. I don't like that. That always it's stressful. It makes you feel pressured, especially in a game like Dead Rising where there's thousands of zombies on screen now. I just want to kill zombies for a while. I just want to roll around and see the interesting ways that I can kill all these zombies.
There's not kind of free roam thing where you don't have an active mission?
There is, but at the same time there isn't, because the game starts with it's like, hey, we're gonna bomb the city in 3 days. Your game ends in 3 days. No matter how done you are, your game is over in 3 days, and as that time ticks down, you kind of get main story missions. Forza does run at 1080p, okay. But I don't...
I liked the original. I liked Dead Rising 1 and 2. Dead Rising 1 especially because it was something that was exceptionally unique. And then Dead Rising 2 came out, and you're like, this is a lot of the same as the other stuff. And I feel like they really didn't introduce a whole lot other than more weapon combinations in Dead Rising 3. But the one thing that I was hoping you were going to get that, because I wanted to see if they really did the whole zombies react to noises that are made in your room through the Kinect.
Oh, is that a thing? I don't...
That was one thing that I think I heard about at E3, or either I read an article about it where, based on what's happening in your room, so let's say you're trying to sneak through a bunch of zombies and your dog barks in the background, the Kinect will pick it up and the zombies will actually respond to that.
So the thing that sort of bums me out even more about the Xbox One is because it has this fucking stupid Kinect that it's not in Titanfall yet, to their credit, that I've seen. But Rise has it, Dead Rising has it, almost every launch game has it. There's these dumb voice prompts that you can do with the Kinect. So it's either hold the button down for 15 seconds in Rise, which is a long time to hold the button down when there's stuff going on, or say the prompt. So it'll be like, fire arrows, or hold down left bumper for 15 seconds.
Jesus.
It's dumb, and it's gimmicky, and it's just...
Do you have to say fire arrows for 15 seconds, too?
No, you say it once. You say fire arrows. Arrows fire. That's it.
So they force you to use the Kinect.
Basically, yeah. It's a real dumb way of you don't have to, but man, wouldn't this game be way more fun if you were talking to your troops and no.
That didn't even work with Tom Clancy's End War.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Well, to End War's credit, it was designed around that, so it worked a little better. Here, it's just thrown in. It's just they could literally take all the Kinect stuff out. It's even stuff like in Dead Rising, you can switch tabs in the menus by saying the name of the tab if you want, or you can just left over with the joystick like we've been doing for the last 15 years. I
think that's
I don't like the Kinect. I really don't like the Kinect.
I'm kind of glad that Sony abandoned the whole motion control crap with the PlayStation Eye. Kind of after they saw the backlash for the Kinect 2, they quietly discredited and got rid of the PlayStation Eye as part of the key concept of Sony.
I bet you within 12 months we will see a new PlayStation 4 attachable that is in fact a camera.
Yeah,
and has something to do with some dumbass motion controls.
But I don't think they're going to bill it as being our system is built around this like Microsoft.
No, I hope not. I'm looking at these Xbox One exclusives, and there are none. Halo,
I'm comparing the PS4 and the Xbox One list right now. And granted, there aren't a ton of games coming out for either, but I'm liking what I see on the PS4 list a little bit better.
Yeah, there's basically nothing. Peggle 2.
Do you regret buying it?
No, because I never, I buy so much of this shit anyways that, I mean, that buyer's remorse response has been so deadened by things like Tekken Tag Tournament 2, 99 Nights, I have a whole wall of them. Gun, which I bought for $60 with my $700 Xbox 360 that red ringed. Alone in the Dark, it goes on and on and on. No, I don't really have that buyer's remorse anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're supposed to be patching the party system too for the Xbox, which is just unbearable right now.
Yeah, how did they drop the ball on that?
So when you get in a party with someone else, it will snap your game and it'll automatically put your party on the side for some fucking reason. And you would think that you would just be like, "Oh, B, get out of there." No, it is a process to get that fucking. You either say, "I learned this finally." You say Xbox unsnap and it'll unsnap it. Or you go through the 26 button prompts to get rid of it. And it's things like, so if we're all in a party, I can't invite, if I'm playing Titanfall and you and I and Kevin are in a party, I can't just press a button that says, invite party to game, and then you'll all join my game. It's such a convoluted, fucked up system. I don't know how they broke it so bad, but it's painful. It's almost as bad as on the PS4 when you invite somebody. It kicks you to that, instead of just inviting them, it brings up that message screen and is like, "You're inviting this guy to your game. Do you want to send this message?" And then you have to press send and wait for that loading bar to fill up. That's something they should really get rid of, because that is just an unnecessary screen. But it's the PS4 is somehow miles ahead on this multiplayer shit, which is a total...
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a total... 360 from what it was last time. That's weird, man. The Xbox sucks.
Well, I heard...
Fucking hate it. And I heard they're having a cheaper one come out this year already, which... What the fuck? Also, Rise goes on sale on Friday for half price digitally, which what the fuck?
That because of all the backpedaling and all the sort of taking back what they said about constantly online and stuff, I heard that the engineering that had to go into that is hampering everything else.
Well, weren't they saying that a lot of people were saying the Xbox came out 6 months too soon? They needed more time to actually develop this shit.
Well, the reason that they needed...
The reason too, right? Is
the reason they even needed that more time was because up until a month before release, whenever that press conference was, they were saying always online, all DRM, and then they went, oh, no, wait, no.
They engineered their system to be this way, the way they first presented it, and because of the backlash, they had to pull all that shit out, and that...
When they announced that, those lead architects had it like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of that shit was wow, well, we have to redesign a ton of shit. So
it's just grating too. Everything, the interface, stuff like finding games, stuff like finding demos took me almost 20 minutes to figure out where the demos are. It's having it be on the PS3 and just be smooth and quick and easy. PS4, and then going to this and just having it's not super bad. If you didn't have anything to compare it to, you'd probably be like, it's it is a little slow. It's a little bit cumbersome, but it's not the end of the world.
That's how I felt about the PSN store with the PS3. I felt that I was perfectly fine because I did not have Xbox Live to compare it to.
Is the store faster on the PS4?
Yeah, much
way faster. Yeah. You can also... The thing I really like about the PS4 is you can basically Alt-Tab out of your game, open the store, do whatever you want, dick around, Alt-Tab back into your game. Whereas on the Xbox, it's never clear if you are suspending the game or closing the game entirely. So sometimes, with Rise, for instance, you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go see, I'm going to go watch Netflix for 20 minutes, whatever. I'll just leave Rise running in the background because I'm gonna keep playing. I just need a break. And you go out of it, and then you go back to it, and you're like, oh, I closed it, I guess. That's weird, because when I did this with Titanfall, like, I was in a game, and just to see if I could, I opened Netflix and, watched 10 seconds of a video and went right back into my game.
So some games you can't suspend?
To be fair,
I don't know. It's not clear about how to do it, or if every game does it, or what.
To be fair, I don't think you can do that with the PlayStation 4, because it'll prompt you to close.
Well, yeah, at least it's very upfront. It's like, hey man, you gotta close this application before you start another one. Right. Is that cool? Yeah. And you're like, yes, no. The Xbox, it's just like, they probably know what they're doing. They somehow figured out all this bullshit systems that are redundant and stupid. Like, they just patched it because you couldn't choose what order things downloaded in. You had no download queue, you couldn't pause, you couldn't resume, you couldn't see what you downloaded. You just went, I want this, and then, like when I was downloading Rise, I wanted Rise to download first, so it would download the piece I was playing, or download the chunk of the single player, and I could start playing it while all this other shit downloads. There's no way to control that. So I ended up downloading Killer Instinct, and the Zoo Tycoon demo, and the Dead Rising 3 demo, and Netflix, and all these other apps, and going like, what the fuck, why is Rise taking 60 hours to download? It was ridiculous. Speaking just to Rise, not a great game. I didn't really talk about it, but
does it
I don't know.
Look good?
It looks fantastic. It looks amazing. It might be the best looking game to date. It is stunningly beautiful. It's just kind of a shitty game. It's third person action, X is light attack, Y is heavy attack, B is sometimes when you do it, stop me if you've heard this before, Oliver. When you do enough damage to a dude, they'll get a red thing above their head, and if you pull the execute button, you'll go into an execute move where you can regain health or other meters.
Sounds like my real life.
Often it is visceral. There are a lot of naked men. The similarities between this and your life adding up.
Yep.
It's not great. It's a real hammy story. You're a commander of Rome. Your father gets killed, and you're out for revenge. That's it. That's all. That's Rise. It looks great. Looks beautiful, but kind of shitty. That's it. That's the Xbox. Ask me anything about the Xbox One.
How's the controller?
It's fine. It's very...
Give me those haptic feedback triggers.
They're weird. They're not...
They're just rumble packs in the triggers.
Yeah, the triggers rumble.
Not like any sort of resistance.
I think... It's hard to tell if there was... Like, when a controller is rumbling frantically, it's hard to tell if it is more resistance behind it or if it is just rumbling under your finger. But I don't know. It feels fine.
How about the joysticks? Because one complaint that I think it's getting a little too nitpicky, but a lot of people were saying that the joysticks felt too tall.
So the thing that I don't like about the joysticks is, hang on a sec.
It's the same design, right?
Kind of. Apparently the bumpers are real.
If you're watching the video, so here is the Xbox One controller. Here is the Xbox 360 controller. So not a ton of difference. The start button is now 3 horizontal lines. I fucking hate that. It is a nameless button.
Come on, gangster.
Games will just show the lines. Yeah, well, I'd rather have a button have a name.
I sort of hate the options button on the PlayStation.
You can't really see it. I don't know if you can see the joysticks. They have this.
I love that.
Yeah, the little grippy thing around it.
Yeah, it's really rough. It's really good actually.
Well, Kevin and I were talking about that at E3 when we were playing that shit pile Crimson Dragon or whatever the hell that was. The only redeeming factor of that game was we were enjoying the grippiness around the joysticks more than the game itself.
They have a dimple in the very center of the joystick, and it drives me nuts under my thumb. It's like it feels like there's something on the joystick, and I'm constantly trying to scratch it, and I'm like, oh no, that's not. It's just a dimple.
A dimple indentation or like a protrusion?
No, like an indentation in the very, very center of the joystick. It's really nitpicky, but it is weird. I don't know. The bumpers feel fine. They're
That's the one thing that I hear everybody bitching the most about.
I don't know. They're identical to the old bumpers. They're just... I mean, they're not inlaid anymore. The whole... Where is it? On the camera there. This whole thing now is a bumper. So any pressure on there puts the bumper in, whereas it is very clearly a button on the other Xbox controller. I don't know. They feel fine. It's got this... it has a port on the back that I don't know what it's for.
Still conventional batteries?
Yeah, 2 AA's.
Fucking hate
It's
that.
it's way better. It's way better.
No way.
No.
Yes.
I still have my original PS3 controller with the same battery that lasts forever.
So far, I've put... I did play the shit out of Titanfall this week. I've probably put, I don't know, 25, 30 hours on this controller. Maybe even a little more. Maybe even more like 40 hours. Still, according to the battery indicator, which they patched in this week. Isn't that fucking crazy that this system didn't launch without a battery indicator? The battery indicator still shows me at over half. So, I mean, I'd way rather put the double A's in.
Double A's?
Yeah, 2 AA's. I'd way rather put the double A's in, have my controller last for 120 hours, because like I am recharging my PS4 controller constantly. Every day I have to plug it in after a long session.
I bought a second controller just for that reason.
Yeah, it's pretty
a second
stupid.
controller for Christmas for that reason.
It's probably that stupid ass speaker on it.
Back to my original question. The joystick height. Do you notice anything different with that or not? Is that not
They are
really
much
a
higher.
factor?
They are way higher, but I mean,
Do you think that affects
can you do a side by side? Oh yeah, you can see it really good on the camera.
Yeah. Those are much higher.
No. Like it's not like I was. My 360's been red ringed for the last 4 months, so it's not like I was coming straight off a 360 controller to this. So I haven't noticed any problems. I think they feel fine. I prefer the PS4 controller, but they both feel okay.
How's the D-pad? Because I know that was a huge gripe of the 360s. This one
it's
vast
good.
improvement?
It's really good now. Yeah. See, it's not a giant round button. See, the D-pad on the 360 controller is a big round button. So really, the D-pad is a joystick on the 360 controller. This one, it's more,
an actual button.
Yeah, it clicks too. It has a real satisfying click to it that you know when you are inputting a direction.
Is there any word on when the Xbox One controllers are going to go PC compatible?
I have no idea. I know they're doing a big firmware update for the controller soon. Apparently, what was I reading? Titanfall will be less twitchy after they update the controller.
Yeah, they were updating the controller.
It felt fine to me.
What was that whole story they were talking about? The Titanfall basically not forced, but strongly encouraged, or not a redesign, but an update of the controller because of some issues with it. I didn't read the whole article.
It was something to do with like the dead zone was a little too small the way it is now, so it felt really, really twitchy. Apparently, like I think everything feels fine. I have no idea, but I guess they're updating that as well, which is kind of nuts as well. If you think to need a controller firmware update only 3 months after launch, it's weird. It's a weird system, and they should put a book out on like exactly what the fuck is going on with this, because I bet that'd be a real interesting read. That's it. That's the Xbox. That's Titanfall. That's Rise. I think that's all I played.
What's the next thing coming out?
Thief comes out a week from tomorrow.
That game looks super cool.
Yeah.
I was just watching that first mission. Man.
Yep. I like Thief.
That.
I really like Thief. So I'm jazzed, man.
Oliver.
Yeah, Eric.
Did you get Danganronpa?
Nope.
So you guys were asking me last week about the consequences for failing your trials, and I got through the very first trial, and I read through the email again from NIS, and legally I can't talk about anything after Chapter 1, and Chapter 1 ends with the end of your first class trial. So I was going to talk to you a little bit more about that to hopefully sell you on the game, because I'm still super hooked on it.
Well, I have a few follow-up questions after
Sure.
listening to that conversation from last week. Are you set on your main character, or can you choose any one of these students?
No, you're set on your main character because you are the ultimate lucky student who got into this prestigious school simply based out of luck. So you're in this school with all these premier intelligent people or skilled people throughout the country, and you're just the one who got in purely out of luck. And that's kind of the appeal of it, is you don't really deserve to be there, but you're kind of now at the center of everything.
I see.
What else?
So that'd be kind of cool if you could be the different characters.
It would be, but I don't know how it would work. Without spoiling anything, I don't know how it would really work. The first mystery that you have to solve is this girl is murdered in your room. So the way that the story is set up is that you start developing this relationship with one of these girls whose room is next to you. She comes to your room in the middle of the night and says, I'm scared, somebody's pounding at my door. I waited for a couple hours, and when I finally went out, they were gone. So she comes into your room, and she makes this suggestion, would you mind switching rooms for the night? So you're like, fine, that's okay. They won't know that you're in my room. Everything will be fine, because the only rule for at nighttime was you have to be in your dorm room. It doesn't say whose dorm room you have to be in. You have to be in a dorm room. Mm-hmm. So they switch rooms. In the morning, you wake up, she's dead in your bathroom. And that's kind of where this mystery starts, where you have to figure out who killed her and why, and everybody's pointing at you because it happened in your room. Right. So you have to go around and you have to collect all these clues, and then what happens is, and this is easily the coolest part of the game, is you go down into the dungeon and you have this class trial. And people are, it's a continuous trial. There's no pausing, there's no stopping, it's just 100% conversation happening, and you can interject at any time and use facts that you found to counteract people's arguments. And it's not as clear cut as you'd think. Like, if you fail at it, it'll restart a certain part and be like, boy, I could have said this at that point, so it kind of tells you what you need to say. But there's certain little mini games that you need to do during this trial and pull out the different pieces from your investigation, and it's cool, man. It's really, really cool.
I don't know. My Vita
Dragon Rampa.
My Vita's just been sitting stale for the longest time.
$40 is really, really expensive for a portable game for me.
Isn't that like
it's standard? Yes, it's standard.
Price?
I don't buy full price handheld games. I usually wait till they go on sale. This one, if you see it on sale for $20, hands down, get it. You're going to get a ton of hours of gameplay out of it. Like, I think I'm 9 or 10 hours in, and I'm just done with chapter 1. And you have 15 people to kill off. So
when does this game end? When everyone's dead?
The concept of the game is you need to graduate, and the only way you get out of the school is by graduating, and graduating means you kill somebody and you become blackened and you get away with it. So if somebody kills someone, goes through the whole class trial, and you get it wrong, like, the class has to say, this is who we think it is. If they get it wrong, they all get executed, and the person who committed the murder gets to leave. But at that point, then you fail and you start the trial over again. So it doesn't give you that.
Dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't give you that option to fail and start over. But I'd be kind of pissed if it did, because the setup for this game is really long. It's like 5 hours before you even get into the first trial.
Well, it should give you like a save right before it. I don't know, but
fuck that. What are they? Iron Man mode.
Yeah, I would be on board with Iron Man mode for that.
It's actually neat, because when you're done and you're like, I have all the definitive proof, this is who it is, and you finally convinced everybody that that's the person who committed it, you call them out on it, and then they start backpedaling on it, and then they get executed. And
so can you misinterpret the evidence and convince everyone that it was this guy, when really you're like, well, you looked at these clues the wrong way, so it really isn't that guy?
The first mystery, I haven't gotten through the second one just because each of the trials is so long. The first one was actually pretty clear-cut, that I knew exactly who it was. Like, they were all focusing. Behind the girl, there were these numbers. It was like 1103, 117, whatever. There's numbers behind it, and if you read it upside down, it spelled the name of the person. And, like, that was the clinching evidence, and everybody was reading it as numbers. So I knew who it was, so I didn't try to convict somebody else. So, to be honest, I don't know.
So if you only had that one piece of evidence, could you be like, come on, God, look, if you flip it upside down, and that it totally looks, you see the 3 is like an E, and it totally spells out L-E-A. I can't think of any names you can spell with upside down numbers, but
in the process,
this is the basis of my investigation. Just take
look,
it.
it's 8008, and if it's boob upside down, it's
in the
boob, you
process,
guys.
everybody's got their suspicions, and in the first one, they all think it's you. So they're all trying to pin the evidence on you. So you're on the chopping block, and you have to refute all of their evidence with other stuff that you found. Like, I found this charred piece of shirt by the incinerator, and I found this crystal ball that was used.
Whoa! How do you know it's a piece of a shirt?
Because it shows you it's the sleeve. It's a charred piece of shirt. It's the sleeve. Of the shirt.
See, that seems like I've been watching a lot of True Detective, and I've learned that you're not supposed to come in with a narrative because then you start bending the evidence to fit that narrative. That's what Woody Harrelson taught me. That's a great show, by the way. Unbelievable. True Detective. Really? Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey, if they ever make a movie about Bill Nye, the science guy's life, like a biopic, Matthew McConaughey could play a great Bill Nye.
Why? Because that's weird.
He lost like he's probably like 90 pounds in this show. He is stick thin. It is like freaky how thin he is, and he looks exactly like Bill Nye. It's a great show. Highly recommended. It's on HBO.
I've been meaning to watch it. Lots of people have been talking it up.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth the hype, man.
Heard the ladies in the show are quite attractive.
Oh yeah. Episode 1, there's a lot of titties.
Sweet.
A lot.
Wait, what show was that?
True Detective. It's great because, okay, I don't want to come off as super creepy, but it's inevitable here. There's one part where it's some guy's mistress, and she's very, very attractive. She's a college student, like unbelievably gorgeous, and they're getting down to business. And it's in the back, not even in the back of my mind, out loud, I'm like, man, I hope we get to see her boobs. And then 2 seconds later, it happens. So, delivers what it promises.
That's funny.
Oh man, you guys want to talk about a little bit of news here?
I just want to tell Oliver, get the game. Your Vita needs some love.
Can you let me know when it goes on sale? Because I don't really feel like paying $40 for a Vita game.
Yes, I will let you know, because if it's, I would say it's worth $20 easily.
Yeah, I'll spend $20 on it. I mean, you're pushing for it, and I really do want to play my Vita.
It's a good Vita game. You have to get over that initial. This is a really anime style, like hardcore Japanese anime. But once you get into the actual,
that's how I like my Japanese anime, hardcore.
That and that's kind of why I also want to play Persona. It did turn me off with Ni no Kuni, but
no, this isn't. Ni no Kuni wasn't like hardcore anime style. Like, this is true yelling, screaming type anime shit.
Do people say, "Oh"?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. All right, this checks out. It sounds like Japanese anime to me.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it goes on sale, because I think you'd actually really like it.
Yeah. The only thing that I've been running on my Vita is still
Wake Up Club.
Yeah, Wake Up Club. That's it.
Fucking Wake Up Club.
It's my alarm clock.
I thought you were about to say it's my life. It's my life.
It's my alarm clock, and there's still like trophies to be had. I need to wake up 365 days to get my last trophy.
Is that like congratulations? You lived an entire year. You woke up every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, is that with that game? Is it like you woke up before your alarm and turned it off every day for a year?
No, you wake up at your alarm and you turn it off within a minute. So instead of like
that's not even
or whatever.
When my alarm goes off, I am most times, unless I'm like hungover, I am like firing on all cylinders. I am wide awake. I'm like, here we go. It's like you pop the clutch, neutral to fourth. Boom.
It's sort of weird though, because I'll have that go off like 10 minutes before my real alarm. So I'll kind of just like, I'll just sort of like sleep right through it, put it away or whatever, and then just wait for my real alarm.
So if you're just in this for the trophies,
which means I'm really only doing it for the trophy.
Why don't you put it after your real alarm?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you wake up and you go for your shower, which takes 10 minutes, and then you have it ring, 15 minutes after you wake up, and then you go to your shower and you go, oh yeah, you totally woke me up. Wake up club. Click.
Because I sort of need that initial alarm to tell me, okay, well, it's
You're one of
time to
those
start
people,
getting up. Yeah.
My roommate is one of those people. He needs the initial alarm to go off at 6:30 so he can get up at 7:30.
I have a wife that just tells me to get up.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm gonna have one of those soon too, so we'll see how that works.
We'll see, all right? We'll see if
pretty soon
Pastor
I'm gonna-
Matt lets that get past the altar.
Pretty soon I'll have a screaming toddler that'll get me up 600 times a night.
Yeah, shit. I got a buddy who's having a kid in May sometime, end of May. And I'm trying to sell him on one of these video game consoles because he's not really. He's got a PS3, but I'm like, listen, you're gonna need some. That kid is gonna have you up at all hours of the night. You're gonna need something to play, man. You're gonna need something to do to stop you from going crazy.
I posted a comment on my Facebook about something like a PS4 is totally justified on a baby registry.
I saw that.
Somebody in my family took it super serious. Like,
I saw that.
How about you put the kid down and cradle put the controller down and cradle the kid and actually pay attention to it? Like, okay. I think you missed the joke on that
I'm gonna
one.
give the kid the controller and just whatever, man. Let him
I'm just
play
gonna
Wake
let
Up
him lay on
Club.
the floor and scream.
Give him the second controller. It's not even on. He doesn't know. He's a baby.
Give him the control pad from the Wii U. There's something to do.
Or just give him an NES controller to chew on. They don't know any different.
Oh man! All right, let's start this news off.
Hang on.
Sniper Elite 3 has even more gruesome kill cams.
Love that game.
Can they get more gruesome?
I didn't think so, but that might be the thing that finally makes me buy a Sniper Elite game.
Is Kevin not going to talk about Nerd Olympics?
Oh yeah.
I was just figuring Matt would bring it up because it's kind of what he does.
Well, because I'm not as attached. Like I don't have my finger on the pulse as much because I'm not in Edmonton. I actually totally forgot. Tell me about Nerd Olympics. Are you the Nerd Olympian?
I am somewhat of the Nerd Olympian. I got medals in 3 of the 4 events that I wanted to get medals in.
Attaboy.
Okay, which events? Let's get details here.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Which medal? What'd you get?
I got silver.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was an event? You didn't
Yeah.
mention that.
It's
Yes,
been an
I
event
did.
every year. We've talked about it every single year he goes to Nerd Olympics. We've been doing this show for
No.
4
This
Nerd Olympics now?
This is the first time that it's been Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah,
What was
and
it
when you
last
mentioned
time?
it, I think you were talking about it on FS, but you did
Yeah.
not mention Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, I'm glad I didn't, because if you would have shown up and beat me, I would have been sad.
Who took gold? Who took
man.
gold in MVC?
Wes took gold. He was the guy who got silver to me last year in Marvel vs. SNK 2.
What's his team?
Okay.
He ran Dante, and I was too drunk to remember the other 2.
But you took silver as a drunk.
It was also the first time I've ever played that game.
Yeah,
How bad were the other people?
No, listen. Our group of friends that goes to Nerd Olympics, everyone is good. Or not good, but everyone can play one game.
Yeah.
Everyone else just fucking suck. Don't tell them, but they all suck.
It's
like
very
League of
rare
Legends,
that,
man. That's why
that
League will never
somebody is
be
good
an
at
event.
every game there, which is why getting your name on the trophy as overall medal winner is a big deal, because you have to win a lot of events to get it.
How many events do you need to win to get your name on the trophy?
The guy who won it this year had 16 points in medals. Golds are 3, silvers 2, bronze are 1s.
Wow.
Okay, MVC. Was this guy legit good, or was it just kind of...
It's not that he was good. If I had played, I would have beat him if I knew what was going on. I looked up a decent team online and picked that as my team.
I would have just swept
I
that.
didn't
Yeah,
know,
you would have.
I didn't
You
know
would've.
any
about that.
moves. I'm like, okay, well, does this person play like Ryu? No. Does this person play like Ryu? No.
To put it into perspective, I might have been the best Marvel vs. Capcom
you
3-player there because
Possibly, yes.
I know the basics. I know how to kick dudes into the air and then tag other dudes in during a combo.
You did
so
a
I
little
mean,
bit of practice.
yep.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
my team was Morrigan, Dante, and Akuma.
It's a good team.
It is. I mean, that's
Is
what
Morgan
the internet
good?
told me.
Morgan's okay. Dante
Morgan
and Akuma.
is listed as the #1 best character in the game.
Oh,
Is that
really?
right?
Yes.
Morgan from what?
Darkstalkers.
Dark.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I keep wanting to say Darksiders.
Okay, what other events?
The other event that I got medals in, I got gold in chess.
Sweet.
I beat Christopher Yanitsky.
Whoa. Like, basic ass chess? Like,
Yeah, like
real chess?
tabletop chess.
Jesus. That had to be a
Weird.
boring event.
Has that always been an event?
No, first year. First year
Weird.
for chess.
Weird. You took gold, huh?
Yeah.
How drunk were you by chess time? Like,
Chess was day 2.
scale of 1 to
actually-
10.
Hold on, let me tell you how drunk I was day 1. Because I showed up with a 12-pack of beer. I'm like, I got a 12-pack, that'll last me all day. I started drinking at about noon,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I was 8 beers deep by like 2:30.
That's Nerd Olympics, man.
But the worst part about it was the last drink that I had, because it was an AGLC sanctioned event, so we had liquor license and we had bartenders and the whole nine. One of the bartenders who was serving me was girlfriends with one of my friends, and it's her mission to like get me super drunk every year for some reason. So I'm already 5 or 6 beers in, and she brings me my beer, and it's in one of those red reusable cups, and I'm
Red
like, well, I have
Solo
bottles.
cup.
Like, why is it in a cup if I have bottles? And she's like, don't worry about it. So I start drinking it, and I'm like, this tastes kind of weird.
It's got a
And
shot.
I'm just like, whatever. She spiked it with like 3 shots of rum.
Holy.
Wow.
This girl's trying to get you drunk, man. Forget Nerd Olympics.
Jesus.
Why don't you focus on what's right in front of you?
Exactly.
No, sorry, baby. I gotta go win gold in chess.
I've got a chess match right now.
So yeah, I got a little bit drunk on day 1. We had a break and we went for sushi, and I ended up leaving after that. I walked home from university to my place.
It's just too much, huh? Too much?
I was totally done. The next day, I was talking to some people about sushi, and I asked Brandon, another one of my friends, and I'm like, so why didn't you come to sushi? And he's like, I was sitting beside you. I'm like, oh. Whoops. So yeah, I missed a lot of events day 1 that I think I could have medaled in if I wasn't as drunk as I was.
It's not really what Nerd Olympics is about, though.
Well, depends. I super failed my Mario 3 run.
I heard. What happened?
I ended up like 5th place or whatever.
Ooh.
What happened?
Didn't you take a medal last year? For Mario?
No.
For Mario speedrun? No?
The only other person who was competition, I kept egging her on to like get her run done because she kept waiting until the very end because she wanted to scout everyone else out and see like what their times were and what their path was. So as soon as she realized that all the real competition was done and that their times weren't that great, she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to beat level 1, get the P-Wing, and then use my warp whistles so that I can P-Wing across the level that everyone has failed on and just win. I'm like, you scummy bitch.
No way, that's
legit.
Play to win, man.
scout out competition.
So
Too
wait, what
much
is...
meta thinking?
Is it a distance run? Like, what were the rules for the Mario 3 speedrun? Distance?
It
There's
was
distance versus time, right? Like
10
'cause
minutes
yeah.
or 2 lives, whichever comes first,
To get as far as you can?
to get as far as you can. If you died, like if you made it to the same level that somebody else did, and you either died for a second time or your time was up, then it would be score based. So if you
Okay,
got-
so even if I make it to the very end of the level and die, and you don't, it still comes down to score, because we
That's
both
right.
died on that level.
We
Okay,
both
okay.
died to the same level, essentially.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was I don't know. I thought it was a pretty bitch move to make. Mostly
that's the
because
one
I
you
didn't
sort of-
think of it first.
That's the one you sort of just like train at constantly, eh? Because you're always just playing that game.
But he's never taken a
no,
medal.
that's right. I was never practicing World 8. I was thinking... I learned, like, recently that it was warp whistles allowed. I didn't think it was warps, so I was, like, doing through every level.
I
So,
remember
like, my World
you...
1, World 2 was really good. But my World 8 wasn't that good.
I remember you and Eric practicing speedruns Christmas time last year when Eric came down.
Well, we weren't practicing speedruns. We were just playing the
They're
game.
just playing the game.
Wasn't that for Nerd Olympics? Wasn't Nerd Olympics coming up, like, right around?
No, we were just playing Mario 3 because it was
all
fun.
right. Yeah,
A couple
well,
of dudes
whatever.
with some beers playing a game.
Yeah.
Sure. No, hey, my life. Literally all I do now. Look, beer, talking about games, Batman in the background, judging.
Just hanging out.
Matt, you could be so much more.
Oh, you gotta do something with your life, Matt.
But yeah, I missed the Super Smash Brothers event.
Which one? Which version?
I don't know. They
Wii version, I think.
Yeah.
probably the
fuck
Wii
it.
version. Yeah, I don't know.
The shittiest one, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
They did Geometry Wars 2,
Yeah.
and I got like 2 million points without knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I died 2 times because as soon as I died, I figured, oh, well, this has got to be like a 3-second respawn. Nope. Instant respawn, enemy hit me again, and I died again. I'm like, fuck off. And then I thought I had 4 lives, but turns out somewhere along the line I got an extra life, so I died for the 4th time and just put the controller down and started to walk away. And everyone's like, you have another life, you have another life. I'm like, fuck off. So before I even picked up the controller again, I was dead. I'm like, well, if I would have been A, paying attention, or B, knew what the fuck was going on, it would have been easy gold. Because the guy who got gold got like 5 million points, which was nothing.
I could have killed in some Geometry Wars.
Tell me about the Worms competition.
I did not make it to Worms. It was after I was too drunk.
The
Let me tell you
sushi.
about what happened when I got home. I got home at like 6 o'clock at night and promptly passed out for like 17 hours.
Oh my god.
Like, just passed out on my couch, and then the next thing I know, it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? I turned on my computer at some point because I thought I was going to, like, play some fucking League of Legends or something.
Let's not joke about. We all know it would be League of Legends.
Well, it might have been Hearthstone, don't get me wrong.
All right. Touche.
But yeah, I'm like, don't remember doing that, then pass out, and it was just a gong show.
And then you rallied back up the next morning and won 3 more, or what?
Won 2 golds the next day. Gold in chess and gold in nerd trivia.
Ooh.
How was the nerd trivia this year?
Yeah. Do you have the list?
I do have the list.
Oh,
I love this.
I love this. My favorite part of Nerd Olympics.
This is my favorite part of the podcast after Nerd Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it once a year, and let me just pull it up here.
Bring it on, man. Let's see how we can do.
We'll start with one of the more difficult questions.
Are we going to ring in? Or are we just shouting it out?
Do you guys want to ring in? We'll do it like game show style.
All right. Well, bzz, bzz.
Do you want me to go through like every question?
Well, let's not do them all. Just whatever. Let's just hear
some
them
of the
and
good
see if we can. Let's just see
Okay,
if we can puzzle
I'll
through
skip
them.
the like the nerd ones, like the
Yeah, if there's
TV
some we
shows and
obviously
stuff,
won't
but-
know, like Doctor Who episode 3,
Yeah.
like just pass.
All right. As of Generation 5, how many Pokemon are available to catch?
Ooh, 625.
736.
I'm gonna go with 240.
That's definitely wrong.
649. Eads was pretty
Holy
close.
shit.
Closest without going over.
So many.
Sure, closest without going. In Earthbound, what is the name of the baseball bat that you can't help but swing with all of your might?
Anybody? Ness. What is Ness's bat?
Earthbound. I don't know. You guys have been playing Mother.
I
not the same
have
game.
no idea.
It's totally
No idea.
different game, man.
Mother
The
bat.
home run bat.
That was my
Lovejoy.
guess because that's what they call it in
Smash Bros.
Brothers.
Yeah.
It is called the AC bat.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't have known.
From the book, Casey Hits a Home Run.
Yeah, sure. This question was submitted by Bryce.
League of Legends?
No, in Super Mario Sunshine, Mario is given a FLUDD. What does FLUDD stand for? FLUDD.
Shit.
FLUDD.
Yeah, there was a time. There was a time when I knew this.
No idea.
Something device.
Fucking can't remember.
Device is the last D.
Good job. It is the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device.
Got most of it.
I can only remember dosing device. Flash? Why is it Flash? Really, Flash?
Yeah, Flash.
I would have never got that.
Because it's quick.
I actually traded my answer to Bryce for my question for his question, and that single-handedly helped me win the game.
What was your question?
My question is not necessarily video game related, but I'll give it to you anyway.
Okay. Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Any Star Trek fan should be able to list off the registration numbers for the USS Enterprise, which is... Anyone? NCC 1701.
All right.
What are the registration numbers for the USS Defiant and USS Voyager?
Oh, that's the question. Okay. What was... Whatever.
The first
Pass.
was the build-up. A good question.
Pass. Pass.
Build-up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, good build-up, man. That's a tough one. I bet nobody got that except Bryce, who you gave the answer
that's
to.
exactly right. My group and Bryce's group were the only ones who got that.
Jesus.
What if he had that written on his arm?
Here's another one. In the Super NES RPG Chrono Trigger, your party faces off against a powerful sorcerer in the Middle Ages named Magus. Magus grew up in the Kingdom of Zeal under a different name. What was his name?
Carl.
I have no idea. Never played enough of Chrono Trigger to know.
Janus.
Yeah,
Okay.
Janus was the name.
Fucking don't know any of these.
Here's one that you guys might get. It's not video game, but kinda, I guess. In Star Wars, Leia is adopted into a family of nobility on Alderaan. Name the family's last name from the adoption. Really? Nobody?
Not a Star Wars or Star Trek.
No idea. No
Okay.
fucking idea.
Organa. Leia Organa.
Okay, sure. Take your word for it. Leia Oregano, whatever you just said.
I'll give you guys this one. In The Lord of the Rings, how many rings of power were made in total?
5.
No.
4.
Shut up. 7
I was gonna say
plus
7.
3.
Want to roll them all?
Is it 20?
It is 20.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
How do you
There
go
you
from
go.
7 to 3 to 20?
I was counting them. 7 for the dwarves in their halls of stone. Come on. 3 for the elves.
I was
9
thinking
for
like the
9
Infinity
for
Gauntlet,
men
and
with the
there's
one
5.
ring. Yeah, there you go. 7 for the dwarves, 3 for the elves, 9 for the Nazgul, and then the one. The one. What's up? Get on my Lord of the Rings.
This one will be directly to Eric.
I just did the shirt thing. I did it too quick for the camera.
Because I'm gonna get it wrong and look stupid.
If you get it wrong, you will look stupid. Many RPGs have a love story hanging around the main Save the World quest, and the Final Fantasy franchise is no exception. Name the main character's love interest in Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay, 7 is Ares. 8 is Rhinoa.
Stop a second. 7, would it be legit to say Tifa? 'Cause
It was legit. It was both answers, yes.
I had a crush on Tifa
So,
over Ares.
9 was Garnet/Dagger, and 10 was Yuna.
9 was the only one my group didn't get. None of us really liked that game.
I gave you both names.
That's pretty good. Good job, Eric.
You're right.
Way to not be a poser.
Here, let's bust out another one. Mega Man was one of the most recognized franchise in Capcom's hands. What year was the first Mega Man released in North America?
81.
87.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
you should have let me guess. I was actually going to say 88, but
It would have been close, but you would have went over,
When
so
was
you
it
broke
released
your
in
rules.
Japan?
I don't know, not 81.
I'm going to say
81 is
84?
early.
Not 81, dude. 81 is like
81
fucking
is like...
MSX era. 81 is fucking...
King's Quest 1 came out in 1981.
Was
That
Mega
game's
Man
great.
was Mega Man on anything before
No.
the NES?
No. The story in Diablo takes place in,
we
around,
go.
and underneath a particular town. What is this town's name?
Tristram. Well, what?
Tristram.
Okay.
You said Tristan.
Yeah.
Fucking
Tristram.
poser.
You want to hear
Tristram.
something funny?
It's not Tristram?
No, it is.
Okay.
My group got 14 points, 14 out of 25. Second place got 13.
That was the question they got wrong?
And no, this question we wrote down Tristran
Ooh.
with an N, and they accepted it.
Oh.
What? Oh, such bullshit. Such
a
bullshit.
fake goal.
I would have challenged that.
Yeah.
I totally would have challenged that.
I
In
could
the
even
Street
spell
Fighter
it for you.
franchise, Ryu and Ken have a powerful flying uppercut attack. Name it.
Let me
Show
know.
you
Oh,
can.
I was gonna see if I could have done it. His uppercut is
Shoryuken.
Shoryuken.
Yeah.
Here's
Is
a
that
Mega
uppercut?
Man trivia for you. The Shoryuken.
No, we're not doing just trivia. Come on,
No,
man.
not trivia, but a factoid. The Shoryuken is actually in Mega Man X.
And
Yes,
the
it
fireball.
is.
I heard
Yeah.
about you talking that on your show,
Yeah.
and you said it was super hard to get. I got that shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to do some crazy air dash jumps on like the very first level to get it.
Yeah,
So I don't even remember, but I remember like knowing about that, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting that.
it's hard.
Okay, I
to
think
get.
there's one or two more I can give here. The Adventures of Commander Shepard in Mass Effect lead him/her to wield many different weapons. What is the name of the standard issue assault rifle that he begins the game with?
No idea. 'Cause fuck
Wait.
that game.
Oh, that was so long ago. I never.
Yeah,
I don't remember. No, I don't know. What is it?
The M8 Avenger.
Yeah.
And last one that I
That's
know
a
you
tough
guys
one.
will all get. I am told there are 6 ponies and 3 princesses in the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Name any 3 of them and entice the scorn of everyone around you.
I can literally do 0. Okay,
got
wait.
that.
What? What are we naming? 3 the
The
ponies?
ponies or the princesses, any of them. There's 9 answers.
Sugar,
Snuggles.
Sparkles.
Fluffy.
All right, we're 0 for 4.
Fucking idea. Did anybody get that? Who got that?
Princess
I bet
Tina.
Adam did. Was Adam there? I bet Adam
no,
knew
Adam
all about
wasn't
My
there.
Little Pony.
It was pretty funny because there was 3 people per group, and it was myself, Chris, and this like crazy fat goth chick. I hope you're not listening. But
Wait,
was like
she crazy and fat or crazy fat?
like all of the above, like commas anywhere in there. She was like really sad and down because she wasn't answering any questions, and all of a sudden the fucking My Little Pony question comes up, and she's like, I could name every single one of them.
She
And
should
we're
be
like,
even more sad because she can.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Yeah.
liked him as a little girl. She's a girl. She could have liked him as a kid. Hasn't that been around
no,
for years? I don't
apparently
know.
she works at a store where she sees them every day.
Oh,
Right.
she works at My Little Ponies Are Us. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man, I
Those are
sucked.
tough questions.
To get any of those. Shepard's first assault rifle. Come on. Some of them I feel are like so specific
Yeah.
that even though I've played Mass Effect 4 times front to back, you
It's
know,
one of
I
those
didn't.
things that you probably
Yeah.
just see in the menu in passing.
What is
Well-
the 17th word Shepard says in Chapter 2 of the Mass Effect DLC?
That would be a great question.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about some of these questions.
Very-
But that's the
Very.
point. That's the point of the question. It's to stump everybody except yourself.
I guess. Why not just make them, like yours was impossible. Nobody in the
that was
world could have got
impossible.
yours.
The girl in my group got the Voyager one, right? Without my help.
That's halfway there. That's not even the full
Yeah,
question.
that's half of 1 point.
All
That's
right, whatever.
great. There were only 2 groups that got over 50%. So,
I don't know. If I made a question, I'd be like, yeah, this is tough, but at least people can get it. If you know your shit, you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? It's not like, you know, or in Street Fighter 2, if you do this thing, Ryu says this one first syllable, what is that translated into Japanese? Like, no, fuck you.
that's a great question.
90% of those questions end in fuck you.
The
That's how
group-
they should
The
end.
group right beside me scored 2 out of 25.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, they were having a lot of fun.
So the way they do it there, you just write it down, or do you have to like buzz in for shit?
No, you just write it down.
Okay.
Everybody gets their own score.
So did you get your name on the trophy this year? Was your score good enough?
My score was not good enough. However, the gold medal that we got on the very last event pushed Chris into 3rd place.
From second? Or
No,
from
no,
what?
from
From
fourth.
first?
From
I
like
see.
6th.
Oh, so yeah. Well, it's not you. You helped Chris make the trophy?
Yeah, but I got a gold too.
I guess, but as soon as you realized you were off the trophy, you should have just tanked. Like, well, Chris, if I'm going down, sorry, soft point, but I'm taking you with me, buddy.
No, I don't think so. I've got medals in 3 of the last Nerd
What do the
Trivia
medals
events.
look like?
Yeah, were they the PVC
Plastic rings.
or did they redesign them again?
Yeah, no, they're like...
Same as always.
What do they say on them?
They say the event. They say Nerd Olympics 2014 and the event.
Are they usually in February, or did they just do them to coincide with the Winter Olympics?
Always on Family Day long weekend.
Yeah, on this long weekend, yeah.
I feel I should know that.
feel
Marvel
like
vs.
you-
Capcom, I would have fucking swept the shit out of it.
Why don't you ever go? You always say you're gonna go, and
It's
then
always weird.
and then
around
I'm
your
like-
friends and
and then
me.
he's-
The whole
then-
point is to get new blood in. The people who were running it were like, if you know anybody who wants to come, they are more
Who
than
gives-
welcome.
who cares if it's weird around it? They're not all our friends, first of all, and second of all, they're all super weird people anyway. So who cares?
And I know
It's
I always talk
It's
about
called
it.
Nerd Olympics.
It's just
like
it's weird.
the bar
I
is floor high, buddy. You could trip over it and still make it over.
I just feel like I would have swept
Yeah, I
Marvel
know,
vs.
I
Capcom.
know.
I feel like I could take anybody in, or at least give a challenge in Worms. And I always, for whatever reason, feel like I can do trivia, which apparently I can.
No, yeah, me too. I always think I'm smart, and then I hear the questions. I'm like, never
Well,
mind.
and that's why everyone's in a group of 3, right? Because
But
if
you
you,
won't-
if you can answer 5 questions and everybody on your team can answer 5 questions, then you're probably going to get a gold.
You only read the video game related ones, right? There's other.
Yeah, there were a
Yeah.
bunch of really easier ones too.
It's always fun.
Yeah,
But like again, it's that threshold where I don't really want to go hang out with your friends.
you could just drink, right? You can hang out with Kevin. You can hang out with whoever you want. You can get drunk off your ass. You can play some games. You can answer some trivia.
Oliver, I'll fly up next year and we'll go.
Deal. I'll make it down next year. If you guys commit to coming, I'll make sure wherever I am, I go. It'll be a date. It'll
We
be
do
a
this
little
every year.
three-way. Yep. I know we do. Uh-huh. No one is more aware than I.
Nobody told me about Marvel vs. Capcom.
It might be there next year.
I'm actually
Probably
pretty sure
won't be
we
there
went
next
through
year.
a big list of all the events that were in it.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
and I
that's-
remember actually you hearing Marvel vs. Capcom going, "Oh,
No,
Marvel vs.
I did
Capcom."
not. No,
I sort of remember that.
I remember him mentioning Worms, and I'm like, oh man, I'm all over that. And this was through the Factory Sealed podcast. We never spoke about it on this show.
I cannot ever remember what we do or don't talk about on this show, so
Yeah,
that
that's-
is probably
yeah.
true. But
That's fine. That's totally fine.
you want to talk about some news?
Let's talk about these gruesome kill cams.
A couple quick news stories. No, I just wanted to mention that they're still making Sniper Elite games. That's
Did you
news
watch
to
that
me.
video though?
No,
Were
I
they-
didn't. I didn't watch it.
So essentially now they all have full skeletal systems with skin and veins and all that shit. So like everything is fully 100% destructible with like X-ray cameras and shit.
Yeah,
I was
That's nice.
watching the video of how they were making the sound effects and like this guy twisting stalks of celery and like punching grapes and shit.
yeah. That's what I do sometimes.
Because that's how your eyeball
Foley.
sounds.
They call that.
I like that game. Like, I played the demo. I'd never bought it, but it was
fun.
kind of cool.
Yeah, the reward of seeing your bullet do that crazy X-ray slow-mo blow the dude up is
Satisfying.
almost worth. Yeah, it's almost worth
Satisfying.
playing through that not really good first-person shooter.
And they're making a part 2?
They're making a part 3.
Part 3?
I'm
You
looking
and
at
I-
screenshots from
You and I played 2, Oliver.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking at screenshots from the first one, which came out in 2009, and this looks like an early PS2 era game. Like, doesn't look good, but 3 looks
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Still
We're
in
all-
the same, like, I don't know what era that was, but
World War II.
yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that era.
Yeah, I'd like to see a modern Sniper Elite.
That'd be cool.
I want
I
to
think
see
that's
a
way more
Space
exciting.
Marine. where
Sure.
you can run on walls.
I want to see a new Space Marines game that doesn't suck and isn't third person. Let's go over some news here. Let's talk about Titanfall. EA has sent out a press release saying that Titanfall is, to quote them, a franchise that will be around for a long time. Quote end quotes.
Even if it absolutely, completely tanks, they'll just keep it around.
At this point, it cannot. It
But
is
I'm just
physically impossible. Yeah, they're saying DLC. They've already promised. They're saying, yep, DLC's coming up.
It's probably already built into the game. They just got to release and unlock.
I bet they won't do that ever again because, man, the public backlash is brutal with that. Really,
better hiding it.
Yeah. Well, nothing to this story other than, hey, man, this is going to be around for a while. They're already talking about next year's game.
It's kind of a foregone conclusion.
Vaguely, no. In the story, they use the words "next year's game." So I mean, somebody out there said the words "next year's game." That's not something you say if a game is coming out 2 years from now.
Honestly, though, like, Titanfall was the only game that I really wanted to play on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're gonna make this like yearly, and the second one is gonna come out for PlayStation, maybe, I don't know, then I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it.
Yeah, if it becomes the early franchise, well, wait the year. Who knows what it's going to be though by next year, or if it is even. It might be 2 years, right? Because 23 months from now,
the other aspect
could still
of that,
be
though,
next year's game.
The other aspect of though is that the development cycle on a game like this doesn't need to be that long.
I guess if you want to add one more new Titan and a couple new weapons and pump out another game,
just like what you were saying, that's what they do with the Call of Duty stuff. Is
Yeah.
they just rehash.
You
So why
can.
spend 3 years rehashing when you can rehash in 12 months and pump it out?
Sure, if you want. It's not what this guy wants. It's not what anybody should want. That's really all there's to that story. Let's talk about this Heavenly Sword movie that Oliver posted a trailer to.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I've seen that, not that particular trailer, but I was following this a little bit leading up to now.
Is that the animated one?
Yeah, it looks almost like the game. I think they made a huge misstep because Oliver's not listening, and this is his story. Okay, he is listening, he just can't talk. There is, they didn't get Andy Serkis back to play
that's too
the
bad.
king. What's his
Bohan.
Bohan?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does suck because he did a really good job with that. But it's Dustin Hoffman. No, not Dustin Hoffman.
No, Thomas... Isn't it Thomas Jane?
I think it's that Molina guy that plays Dr. Octopus.
Thomas Jane is in there somewhere.
Yeah, his name was on there.
So I couldn't find any casting info. Is it the same cast as the game, except for the couple... Because they show... In the trailer, they show those... if you remember the game, they have those four, like,
The bosses.
main enemies. Yeah, like Flying Fox and that big guy and that
Turtle.
mermaid lady.
Yeah.
Are they the same
game was
cast?
so good.
That game was already a movie, basically, with a little bit of gameplay.
But
So
that
if they
game
could...
was awesome. I wish they'd, like, franchise that.
The reason that game was so great, I feel like that game just stood on the shoulders of Andy Serkis.
That performance was really good. But it was also because it was really early in the PlayStation 3,
Yeah.
and so it was something new like that.
Was it a launch?
I don't
It
think it
was
was
close.
launch, yeah, but it was close.
Right after, yeah.
But like, I feel like if they put a little bit more time into that, it could be up there with like God of War.
Sure.
And
Bring
like,
back Andy Serkis. Bring back the girl from Fringe. What's her face? She's back as the
who
main
it was?
character. Yeah, Nariko.
Naruto? Yeah. Did you guys watch that trailer?
Yeah,
I
I
just
did.
watched it, yeah.
It looks weird. It looks like a great video game trailer. It doesn't look like a very good movie trailer.
No, it doesn't.
Really? I think it looks awesome.
I'll
But
see
I mean,
it.
Yeah, it
but-
looks exactly like the game. And
Yeah.
you could easily release that trailer and be like, hey, this is totally a game.
Like, I remember hearing about it and being excited and being like, I really liked Heavenly Sword. That was a great cinematic piece. Sure, you could make it into a movie, but As soon as they lost Andy Serkis, I was like, oh.
I'm comparing release dates here just for the sake of trying to figure out why Heavenly Sword didn't do as well as it should have. It wasn't that far after God of War 2.
Yeah, but
God of War 2 was only on the PS2 though.
Oh, I
this
know.
was the God of War for PS3 at the time.
But would you say it's better than God of War?
I would say it is as good. I would say anybody who liked God of War up until that point and then saw Heavenly Sword would have went, yes, I am all about God of War 2, which just came out. I like that style of gameplay. Heavenly Sword looks like it's for me.
I could imagine it was a thing where, because it was so early in the PlayStation 3's life, and like nobody really bought the PlayStation 3 because it was like $600. That I think contributed to its unpopularity.
Kind of like Lair, but no, Lair
wasn't that. It wasn't like a financial failure. It just wasn't one of the best-selling PS3 games.
Yeah, but a game like that, you could totally
It's the Andy Serkis kiss of death. I mean, look at Enslaved. Look at Enslaved, same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Fantastic game.
Serkis?
Very cinematic. He's the voice actor who plays
Gollum?
Monkey. Gollum in Lord of the Rings, Monkey in Enslaved.
In Planet of the Apes?
Sure. King Kong in King Kong, I guess, if you want to bring monkey noises into it.
But he's the body actor, too.
Yeah, he was like production director or something for Heavenly Sword. He was a big part of that game's development.
Yeah.
Aside from just the voice, but
he's very good. He's really good.
It sucks that they couldn't bring him back. He was like the part of Heavenly Sword, like he was the part where Heavenly Sword went from good to fantastic. Because like without him, it's like, yeah, sure, it's okay, it's God of War-ish. But like his performance and just everything, fantastic.
Yeah,
nailed that role, 100%. And it's such a bummer that he's not back.
I wonder if there was some sort of like just.
Oh, he's doing The Hobbit.
Politics to it.
He's doing The Hobbit. Yeah, he's been doing The Hobbit for the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
He's still working on it, right?
I imagine those guys are like, we need Serkis back on this shit.
Yeah, he's like a
fucking
second. He's like the second director or something on The Hobbit now. He's like a huge part of that movie, which it's too bad that they couldn't get him back for this game, or for this movie. Which is a weird thing to think about now that video game movies are actually coming out.
The characters in that game are cool too.
Yeah, they're okay. Like
the little sister.
The only one. Yeah,
I was
just gonna say, what do you think the odds are that she says twing twang? You think, like, what's the line on getting some twing twang up in this mother?
Her thing was the crossbow and the sound it made, and it talked to her.
She's autistic or something.
She was something. Yeah.
Yeah. Twing twang. Weird. She had red knees. Why were her knees so red? She had cat ears and fucking. All right, I'm out on this movie.
Remember they did the stupid motion control thing where you guided the cannonballs?
Yeah. Aftertouch.
Aftertouch.
Aftertouch. Yep. You can also got arrows. Very good game.
Yeah.
That's kind of like all the news that I really have for this week.
Not much going on.
No, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns came out.
Oh, fucking Christ.
That game looks fucking retarded and weird, and Lightning is a time traveler, and God is a character named God, and they're like, listen, we gotta kill God, which seems like a weird thing to say in any Americanized game, but I don't know.
Square Enix is convinced that people like Lightning, and general consensus is like, yeah, the 13 was okay, but why the hell is there a trilogy on this game? And
that's kind of weird.
13-2 was terrible, and then Lightning Returns. The combat system is great. Everything else sucks.
She changes costumes. That's so dumb.
Great, go play X2.
No.
X2 was good, though.
I don't want to play any.
Fantastic.
I don't want to play any Final Fantasy games, let alone ones with lightning.
You get to use the dress sphere and play pretty princess dress up.
I just do that in my spare time. I don't need a Final Fantasy game to play Pretty Princess dress up. All right.
That's what's
You do that
happening
with
on my
Batman?
cam show next week. So
Yeah, that's why the cam was pointed at his crotch.
Really?
So,
What the hell are you playing pretty dress up on?
because, never mind.
No.
Hey, I just read this right now that I didn't realize. Apparently, Ellen Page came out as gay. I was just
Yeah,
browsing
that
through
was
Kotaku.
Didn't hear that?
Nope.
That was huge. For whatever reason, on Reddit.
Yep. You know what? You know what I did do is I read probably that story and took away Ellen DeGeneres came out as gay, and then I talked about that on the radio. Because
no.
why is that news to anyone? She married a lady in 2000. She married a model in 2008. They are both women. Why would anyone be surprised that she came out as gay? All right, this makes a lot more sense now.
I think it's only Grand Prairie listening to your radio show.
Shit.
That is
Whatever.
hilarious.
Whatever. That's all the news I got. You got to get running here right away too. So
I do. I have to leave. So
yeah, we'll. You know what? We'll hold off emails. How about we'll save them? We'll save them up till next time. All right, be cool. Podcast at ManaTank.com is the email address you can write in any emails to you. We'll get around to them next week. We'll do a bunch. If we get a bunch, we'll do a bunch next week. How about? So if you want your email read, send them in. I don't anticipate any news happening between now and Titanfall. So I mean, we need someone to fill this show with.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That's gonna do it, man.
yeah. Sorry to have to cut out the show in the email section, but
Hey, no
we'll
problem.
watch the Lego Movie.
I hear that's phenomenal.
So do I.
Like, just universal appeal even to adults.
Yep. Yeah. Kind
Sweet.
of excited to see it. I hear Batman plays a pretty big role in it.
Yeah. The what's that guy's name that plays him? He's the magician from Arrested Development.
Will Arnett.
There you go. Yeah.
I
Does a
would
very-
watch a lot more movies down here if theaters weren't just flaming cesspools of ignorant people. I hate theaters down here. They're the worst.
Kind of how we feel about America in general.
It's kind of weird that American theaters filled with Americans are just really ignorant.
Oh man. Well, you can follow me on Twitter if you like. I'm the Matt Eads on there. Usually tweeting out show times, that sort of thing. Swears when I lose the car keys.
Did you find the car keys?
Fuck no. But I think somebody did find those car keys. Sorry to interrupt you, Eric, because we came back the next day, and I guarantee I locked that car, and the car was unlocked, and a window was down about 2 inches. So somebody found them.
Follow me at OJE_A_.
Still haven't switched it.
Is it OJE?
Yes.
No, it's OJ.
Yeah, it's
Is
just
it?
OJ_A_.
I'm
don't
pretty
even
sure it's
know your own
OJ_A_, dude. That's what I've been
it is.
putting.
That totally is. Don't follow that other guy.
Wow.
You can
I'm
follow
trying to
me. Can I say mine?
Sure.
You follow me at Honest Pizza there.
I'm trying to get the one I want, which has been inactive since like 2008.
Which
Don't
one?
tell us. Don't tell us. Do not say on this
Yeah, I'm
show,
not
because it will, like, everyone will be clamoring for it after. So
But like, there's literally no real way to
69 is it 69 hardcore Blazer 420XX?
It's close to that.
Headshot no scope.
Kev, what's your Twitter, man?
You follow me at Dinner Dangles.
I will follow you at Dinner Dangles. That's going to do it for the show. Write us in some questions. We'll get around to them next week. And we'll see you all in the next edition of the ManaTank Podcast.
Bye.